Do we need to be louder or anything like that, or is it all good? Okay. Welcome back, everyone. It is day 2 of Bushiroad Weiss Schwarz. Ken, how you feeling, mate?
A bit burnt out. I came 9th in EU last night, so
Well, at least you know all the matchups pretty well then, right?
Yes, definitely.
So today, well, yesterday we got to see a wide variety of decks. Today, we will still see decks, but much more. It's the serious day, right? It's the serious day of the tournament. Everything's on the line right now. You're fighting for prizes. We have a good amount coming up, but first, let's kind of look at what's happening, not just this week, but also on the upcoming weeks as well. So first off, today is day 2. It is May 21. Is that right? Yep, that's correct. It's going to be top 8. It's going to be a best of 1. So basically, it'll be just like three rounds today, right? It's just single elim. And then in the upcoming weeks as well, we have more BROs happening. Also, there's going to be like an EU one like today coming up.
EU and NA following that as well.
Yes. So these are all coming up after our one. Usually same time as if you watched the stream before for those ones in the Swiss on the previous day. So just tune in then, you'll be able to see their top 8s. But then following on, we do have other schedules coming up. So I think there's still standard and for Vanguard and premium as well. That's coming up soon. So that's we can look at that. It's coming in August 26, 27 for Vanguard. And then in November, we have the premium ones. Mid-November, we have the premium ones. So here we go. Yeah, there we go. So lots of... If you like Vanguard, go check it out. If you don't know what it is, still check it out, right? Always good to try new things. And let's just switch over to the week 4 one as well. We have just to formalize our premium dates. Yep, so there it is. 17th and 18th. So I think it was one day off. But yeah, if you like premium, those are the days, and that will basically be BRO for the rest of the year. And then we do have some prizes that we're fighting for, right?
Yep, we do indeed.
Today, players will be fighting for these things.
So top 4, everyone will be getting a certificate, but if you come first place, you get 4 copies of this exclusive promo from the quintessential quintuplets movie, as well as 1 booster box. Second place will get 2 copies of the promo plus the booster box. Third place will get 1 copy of the promo plus the booster box, and fourth place will get the certificate. So if you go past the first round, you will be getting at least the certificate. So good luck to everyone.
Yep, that's right. Make it past the first round. That's the key thing. All right, that's the key thing. I think we do have the decks lined up already. We can see what is happening for our top 4 lineups, because I think a lot of people... We can look at the brackets actually first, just to see who's playing who. But here we have the 2-1-2 dead. This is the undefeated player, all right, of yesterday, playing against Fresh Cabbage. Then we got Hakase against Varga, and then we have Simon versus a Bimbom. And then lastly, we've got Kazer versus Killer. I think we've seen some of these players play yesterday. Also, they were featured in some other regions as well, so we might have seen them. And a lot of NA players for us today. Only two AO regions.
I think we had a few AO region players in NA inversely though, so I guess we had a bit of a trade-off there.
Yeah, I think I think if you looked at the NA stream just before, it was a lot of a wide variety of players from different places. Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the decks then that these players are bringing. I think it's homogenized compared to what do we expect?
Yeah,
or do we expect it?
I don't know. I think we expected it to some degree. To this degree, maybe not.
If you enjoy SAO, you're in for a good day. Let's put it that way, right? Right. But first off, we start off with Killua playing Saikano, and this is actually a deck that we didn't really see much of yesterday. This is the more meta build of Saikano, as we can put it, right?
Yeah.
Interesting point is that I think it's running an anti-salvage. Yeah,
that's the one of Area Level 0, the yellow card at the bottom left of the screen. If a player adds a character from their waiting room to hand during the attack phase, that player will have to reduce all of their characters' souls by 3 for that turn.
Yes, all of them. So basically, you might not be doing much damage at all, right? and works pretty well against some of the meta decks, like a Hololive, Kanata Marines, and then basically anyone who runs a Door Climax. So interesting tech there. Normally it's not that run, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a medical. It's not really considered to be a core card of the deck. So I suppose Kilo was expecting certain matchups, and he's put it in, and he's made it so far. So
seems to have worked pretty well. Right.
Job.
Next deck we can take a look at is Kazair.
Yeah.
And this one is just, we've seen Kazair. This was the no heal SAO list, right? Running the Argo, and basically just 8 choice, right? 8 choice. We've seen this yesterday. It worked really well. When you deal a lot of damage, you win. That's basically how it is. So good to see Kazair made it all the way through. Then next, if we have any more, we can look at, well, unless we just go straight to our top 8 match. I think they might be ready. Yeah, we're gonna just say there's gonna be a lot of SAO in our top 8. I think we did the calcs, right? Yeah. There is exactly 2 non-SAO decks.
Yeah.
If we want to spoil it, and we know one of them is Killua. And the other one is 2-1-2 dead. I think was the other one.
I believe so.
And I think they were running Escanor. So Escanor still showing strong. Unfortunately, all the quintuplets didn't make it.
Yeah. From what I heard, there's quite a lot of quintuplets that started off in this tournament. So, maybe today was not their day.
Yesterday was not their day. Not their day. Bim Bom. We've seen Bim Bom as well yesterday. Do I think first round?
Yeah,
right.
I think it was first round.
And running the Pants build of SAO, which is kind of interesting. We have we've basically seen 3 builds of SAO. We've got the Kirito top end, we've got the Silica top end, we've got the Argo top end. You were running a different top end yesterday as well, right?
Yeah, I was playing Kirito and Asuna using the Mother's Rosario combo.
So,
unfortunately, I can't take the spotlight today, so
that's right.
Leave that for another day.
Unfortunate, but yeah, it just comes to show that there's so many different builds of SAO still, even when it's just running the core engine. If we have another SAO deck to show, are we gonna maybe we can get a Simon also running
the Kirito level 3,
actually running a different stock swap, it seems.
So that's the Alice stock swap from the second Alicization booster, which I believe Simon's most likely running just for color issues, because the only anniversary trait stock swap in the set is red, and that requires him to juggle colors a little bit more. So mostly for a consistency issue, I would say.
Okay, all right, but otherwise it's just a pretty standard build, straight like blue yellow choice pants. Next one we can see is Varga. So I don't think we saw Varga yesterday, but Varga's running just a Silica build of SAO, Silica Alice, right? And I know a lot of people were not running the level 0 that puts back cards. So is it
Sortalina?
Sortalina, yeah.
I think we've seen a couple of people without that card in deck, but Varga is playing it. So.
I think a lot of the people who made top cut are running it, so it's a pretty good card, I think. And then next we have is SAO or Hakase.
I guess.
I think if you don't know what's coming up next, you're probably the best guess is SAO, right? Hakase running the just the pants build. I think we've seen a lot of the Kirito top end for SAO. I thought Silica was the way.
Yeah. I think from what I've heard recently, there's been a little bit of a shift off Silica. Silica is still fairly popular, but I think people are a bit happier to try other stuff.
Maybe like the stability at the top end with the SAO.
Yeah, healing is definitely a big draw to non-Silica.
Okay. I think we're nearly reaching the last couple, so we might be doing a 50-50 between SAOs and Escanors. Cabbage running the Silica build of SAO. And this one, we know the power. Silica's strong. You have the Gram that just prevents the counters. So if you want to just push and break board, you can. But yeah, otherwise, very strong deck. And then I think we have one more deck. I've been counting, unfortunately. But yeah, this is 2-1-2 dead running the Escanor build. We saw a crazy Escanor game yesterday, right? In the last match. This one is running a 6 6 stock soul, 2 choice, just for the extra soul. I think it's like a split. Some people run like 4-4, but you can run a 6-2.
Yeah. And notably, I think this deck is playing 3 copies of the level 1 Diane, which gets power when it attacks at level 2. So he has definitely prepared for that Alice matchup quite well here.
Okay. And is there any more decks? I think that could be the last one. Yeah, so that is the last deck. Basically everything, all the SAOs, and then the one-offs, that is the Psychano, and the Escanor. What do you think? What do you think is the deck that will come through today?
Well, as you said earlier, I think the safe bet is to say Alice. There is a little bit of diversity among the SAO decks in top ends at least. So I think if we do catch some SAO mirrors, which we most likely will, I think we'll be able to see the different top ends in action. What their pros and cons are. So that might be something to keep an eye out for. I think
Killua and 212 are in different parts of the bracket though. So if they make it through, we might actually have a non-SAO finals if they get super lucky. But yeah, I think we do have the matches set up. So we are watching Kazare versus Killua, because we actually didn't get to see the Killua play yesterday with the Psychano. So it should be a good time. See how the deck that is well known for compressing and then just healing is against the deck who forgoes all kinds of healing and just wants to deal a lot of damage. So what would you say this matchup is like?
So by playing the Alice level 2 combo in this matchup, Psychano usually has a bit of a problem getting its level 1 pawn combo that is its advantage engine through. So while it does have answers to the board, I think if Kazare can continuously just keep putting up those Alices, Killua might have to find other ways of gaining card advantage. On top of that, I think Killua isn't playing the level 0 Utaha, which can stock a card from the hand. So if Killua does draw too many door climaxes in this matchup, he might have a little bit of trouble getting rid of those. So I think, Kazare's focus will probably just be maintaining Alice's and maintaining his stock because it can't get stock swapped. And Killua will probably just have to work around that.
I think one of the biggest issues though with SAO is that sometimes when things don't go swimmingly, when things don't go correct, right, you just take a bunch of damage at some point. It's a bit harder to recover.
Yeah, you do have to prepare your hand in a way that works with what happens in the next turn. So if you're preparing your hand in a way for getting another round of combo after your board survives, but then your board gets answered, it's very tough. But I think experienced SAO players will kind of work out if their board's going to survive and whether they need to rebuild it or whether they should just go for a second round. And it's down to the player's skill, I would say.
And here looks like Killua is starting. And again, I think because there is the player not running any kind of recovery, so any damage sticks. And I think Killua would know this. Very very seasoned player as well.
So that level 0 Izumi that Killua played, it's a mill runner, so you can send the top card of your deck to the waiting room at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase. And if you send a character, you can move it to an open slot in the front row. And in the past, I think this card had a very high chance of surviving the opponent's turn when played on the first turn. But against SAO, sometimes you just play 3 characters with 1,000 or more power, and that kind of gets rid of it fairly easily. And you're allowed to do that because Alice just recoups all of your card advantage. Looks like here Kazare is playing the level 0 Leafa, which doesn't have enough power, so that Izumi will be coming back.
I guess it's kind of like a remnant of an old time where like having a 1,000 runner is like good enough because you can run somewhere. But nowadays it's so common to just play three cards down because you can. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right, so that's a side for 2 trigger and Argo, and the attack has landed. And directing with Asuna for 2 again. This one cancels.
Right. I think here's another question. How slow does Killua want to play this game? Or does he just want to go very fast?
I think he generally wants to speed the game up because Kazare's compression, his stock can't be touched by Killua. Whereas Killua's stock can be touched by Kazare eventually with stock swap. And if he does decide to use that stock to make memory, the come into play ability of the level 0 Sortolina makes Kilo go down to 4 cards of memory. So he can't go to the highest level of compression that is possible in the deck, because Kazir can deal with that in one way or another.
And I guess he's very incentivized just to put down cards and like hit, because Kazir can't recover that damage.
Yeah. So Kazir has cancelled there. Alright, so Kazir looks he can level up here with the help of an administrator, I believe, but he is on 3 stock and his deck doesn't look all that thin. Sorry, he doesn't need to use the administrator. Yeah, so I think it would be a bit risky to try and force an Alice turn here, but if he is able to, he can send multiple cards in Kilo's front row straight to the waiting room by setting the powers down to 0. And that would probably put Kilo in a less comfortable spot. He does lose 2 of the cards that he often uses to mill through his first deck.
It's pretty far away, right? Like,
yeah. So at the moment, I think Kazir should be contemplating. All right, he plays the Climax Swap, but he doesn't use the ability. He plays an Asuna to look at top 3 and doesn't see any events. So just she'll be getting power. It looks like Kazir's going to be just stacking 3 times this turn. Leave up some cards so he doesn't take direct attacks.
Okay. It looks like did a brainstorm.
Yeah.
As well, an Asuna.
Typically, if you don't really want to use,
I think it's like way too early.
Yeah, it's the other reason is your typical field on your Alice turn. As you end it will just be 2 Alice brainstorms in the back and 3 level 2s in the front.
Yeah.
So when brainstorming in the back row with the Argo on a turn like this, you typically open yourself up to the chance to lose it when you set up your Alices. But looks like Kazir is shuffling 2 copies of the 2/1 Alice back into his deck. I think there's still 1 in his waiting room. But he has put the power of the level 0 Utaha to below 0, so looks like those Izumis won't be surviving this turn.
And he is committing one of the brainstorms down.
Yeah, he may be doing that just to reduce the power and not let Killua keep his characters, but
the Uta is pretty good.
Yeah, it is a profile that has not been printed very much since the first few copies, where you can pay 1 and send itself to memory to return a defending character to hand. There is a similar card like to this in the recent Grisai booster, which landed in English, I believe, just 2 days ago. But yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing too many cards with this effect in the future. Anyhow, despite what I said earlier, it looks like Kazir is only attacking twice, which means 1 of those Izumis is surviving.
So here's the thing, right? Is although this seems like a really weak turn, on Kazir's side, is because Alice is so powerful, you can kind of make up for it by having like it's just like a couple of good Alice turns after this.
Right. So yeah, Kazir does have 3 stocks, and with the turn count and probably what he'll be drawing next turn, he most likely will be able to go down to a reasonable deck size and start Alice brainstorming. But because he shuffled 2 copies of the Alice back into the deck at this point, he does have some fail cases where he might take those Alices as damage, and if so, it's going to be harder to set up his board. Also interesting, it looks like he side attacked that level 0 and he didn't make that second attack, so even though Utaha did go to the waiting room,
he's trying to deny damage?
As opposed to the pass on the second attack would be, but I'm not sure about the first attack siding. So that's a cancel.
Because Kilo is stuck at 0-6 right now.
Yeah, Kilo's deck doesn't have a way of putting extra cards in his clock during the main phase. So Sub at 0-5 does guarantee that Kazir's level 0s. His Kazir keeps Kilo at level 0, and his own level 0s are somewhat unlikely to be answered with Kilo's current setup. Kilo did also play one copy of his level 1 combo bar there, so I assume that's because he recognizes that if Kazay sets up next turn, there's not really a great opportunity to play that card, so may as well get the climax out of the hand, which is actually something that Saikano often has trouble with. Right, so Kazay gets the draw here. Alright, so he uses the Ironcrowd event, so he's going to send the top 4 cards of his deck to the waiting room. That's 1 card with a soul icon, with a total of 1 soul icon, so he can get a level 1 or lower. Luckily for him, he has not lost any Alice's to the clock.
I mean, this has to be the turn, right? You have to go now.
Yeah, his deck is definitely not thick enough to pass another turn here.
But it just feels like he's not set up.
With 3 stock, I think he can obviously just brainstorm 3 times and get 3 in a good order, so that would help him. But I think he's still somewhat okay with getting 2. I mean, it's better 2 than 0 at the end of the day. So.
Yeah, and he's put another one down, so of course probably just going to go into it now.
Yeah, I would think so. All right, so Kazay does get to set up his level 2 Alice's earlier than Kilo hitting level 1, which means Kilo won't be able to use his level 1 Megami combo, but he will be able to use this combo at the expense of side attacking those Alice's for a potential to do 0 damage. But at the same time, Kilo has gotten quite a few turns at level 0, and I don't think he's used too much of his hand either, so I think he's probably okay without being able to do his level 1 combo comfortably for a bit. He just needs to be able to hit a reasonable number of brainstorms, cancel reasonably, and he should be okay. So Kazay has missed that second brainstorm, which means that he has 1 more chance to brainstorm if he does not have another copy of the level 0 Leafer. But if he hits this one, he still gets the double combo, which is not bad.
I mean, sometimes you just have to go, right? Like,
yeah. All right,
it's double, but it doesn't matter because there's no stock.
Yeah.
But maybe if you can follow this up later.
So there is a Leaper. So there's discard a card, reveal to level 0. He's going to salvage to level 0 and just put a card into stock. And I assume he's going to brainstorm immediately. So for the next 2 cards,
can you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, triple! There we go.
Triple.
Right. So this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do to figure out how to get the triple going, right?
Yeah. So there's 3 extra stock and 3 hand.
I think we'll be seeing a lot of these Alice's today.
Right, so
I guess the question is how now they've got the field set up, how does Kilo deal with this?
So Kilo's primary answer to this would be using the level 1 Eriri in his deck.
Yeah.
If you have at least 1 card in memory, which is a surprisingly easy condition, she gains 2/5 power on your own turn to go to 6/5, and she also gets another 6k when she attacks level 2. So she'll be hitting 12/5 on her own. And if you play a Climber, she goes to 13/5. If you have the red Brainstorm in the back row assisting her, she'll go to 14k. So from Kazay's point of view, that 14k line is the line that Alice hits when you use a 3k counter on her with the 2 cards in the back row. But it's not particularly easy for Killua to get 2 copies of the Brainstorm in the back. So the 3k counter is generally a pretty safe pick here. But the smaller counter, the memory counter, will most likely not be of much help. So I think Kazay will probably be playing he'll probably be more comfortable playing towards a plan where he rebuilds his board after it gets dealt with, or he just cruises on the strong compression for a turn or 2. Although that being said, he is climax out, so
refresh just then, but it's fine.
That part is probably manageable. Alright, so Killua puts a level 0 Usaha into his memory, it looks like. Yep. And then Yep, that's a Dark 3. So, that's a choice which has no target in the waiting room.
I mean, sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
So after refresh, get nothing. That means a climax is out though.
Yeah, and he's also got one stuck in his clock. So I did say earlier that Kazay might be able to cruise on his strong compression, but looks like that strong compression has yet to manifest. So it's got to be a turn or two away before he can start comfortably doing that.
Now, back to Killua's turn. How do you deal with this? You just have to start siding, right? Like,
yeah, I think he'll have to forego his level 1 combat. Oh, so there's the level 0 area, which gives 2k to another character upon being played. Also, when she is reversed, you can pay 1 and discard 1, send her to memory to search for a character from your deck. So most likely, Killua will be using that to scale over a level 2 Alice using his level 1 area.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why Kazay maybe kept Killua at like level 0, because now you have to deal with these 11Ks basically right on the board, and you don't have a way to deal with them unless only with the level 2 beta, right? Mm-hmm. Without that, you're not doing much.
Yeah. I think another reason for Kazay to keep Killua at level 0 is that by putting Killua up to level 3, it makes it easier for him to attack more times. And with more attacks, Killua will be able to do more damage and rip more cards out of Kazay's deck.
Oh yeah, so the numbers will be a bit more awkward.
Are awkward for Alice.
Right. Because like the output at level 0, it's probably levels like a maximum 3 damage or less, right?
Yeah.
Unless you trigger a thing, a stock, or you slam a climax, but then you're probably going to eat more damage if you hit them to level 1, because they'll probably be slamming that climax combo, and things will be at least 2 soul each.
Yeah. So Killua is front attacking. Maybe not. He's got 2 copies of this combo, and he's got 1 copy of the anti-level 2 attacker. So I think he's going to be siding with the level 1 combos. He's
just going to front it
without using the twin drive either. Right.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess in this case, seeing as Kazay is out quite a few climaxes, he's opted to maintain his compression while dealing damage to Kazay.
Yeah. Just deal damage, right? Why bother with compression? Just go and deal extra damage, and Kazay can't get it.
Yeah. Killua does want the game to go faster, as Kazay is favored in games where it lasts longer, as he does have eventual answers to Killua's compression, where Killua does not. He's also more likely to just be able to maintain his deck compression due to the nature of Alice. Unfortunately, Killua has lost the climax to refresh penalty there, I believe, but that is a front for...
Was it a side?
Was that a side? So I guess Killua wants to return that card to the hand using the level 0 Utaha next turn when it gets front attacked, but interesting decision there.
Yeah. I mean, there's no memory. That's the issue.
Yeah.
So it's not getting power.
Yes. But... So that's right. Because Kazay has reduced the power of some of his cards to 0. Killua did not have the opportunity to put cards in memory. So
yeah, I think the other issue as well, though, I'm wondering, like, even though Killua kind of pushed so much earlier, it feels kind of wrong to side there in a way. I feel like if you're gonna commit to just pushing damage, just push damage, right? But what do you think? That was the side. Maybe they're going by the 6th sense, you know? It's maybe the cancel's coming up. I'm gonna side instead. What do you think?
I think Killua was somewhat happy with the amount of damage he did on the previous turn, but also it's not easy to maintain your hand size in this game in general when your level 1 combo isn't really able to resolve. And so at the moment, Killua's primary methods of card advantage are probably just, bouncing a level 1, any card on defense using the level 0 Utaha, hitting Brainstorm and triggering climaxes, which is everything that Kazay can basically already do. So I think he decided his hand's probably not going to last if he doesn't do this. So may as well use this opportunity to get the memory, add the attacker back to hand for next turn. That Uchiha's not going to stand anyway, as it was rested by All Night Gaming.
So you shouldn't game all night. It's bad for you.
Yeah, it's bad for you. Don't play all 3 bros, guys. It's not good for your health.
You got to get some sleep. or you could play all 3 bros. I know we know people who've done that.
That. But it's still probably not that great for your health.
Yeah. Some really nice cancels on Kilo's side.
Great cancels. Yeah. But Kaze has resolved the second round of combos, so that's just more difficulty for Kilo to deal with.
Yeah, we're getting to that stage. Like, both decks have their own win conditions, in that Kaze knows that Kilo set doesn't really have any stock swaps, so getting to an impressive levels of stock is one of the ways that he can win, because then you have just superior compression.
Yeah.
While Sayakado's win condition is kind of doing the bare minimum and healing down, and poking damage.
He's Kilo also needs to eventually get to full memory here, because that is the condition for the level 3 Mega finisher to get all of its abilities. She gains 2000 power, the ability where your opponent can't use backups, and then the ability where it can't be targeted by your opponent's effects, with full cards of memory. So that prevents Kaze from interacting with the card at all, as long as Kaze's characters are equal to or lower power than the Megami. So Killua eventually probably wants to just push that combo through, and Killua just resolved another copy of All That Gaming, and that card is kind of an amazing card. It searches your deck for a character for free, and then it puts a card from your waiting room into stock, and then it puts a card itself on the bottom of the deck. So it guarantees the bottom card of your deck, which is sometimes a detriment, but usually not really. Gives you a free stock, and it gives you a free search. And the only drawback is that it rests 2 of your characters and prevents them from standing at the beginning of the next turn. But that's only like half a drawback in this deck, because there's a bunch of cards which send themselves to memory and do other things. So you basically just get to use their effects without much of a drawback, really. And that is exactly what Killua did last turn. He sent the level 0 Megami Brainstorm to the waiting room to turn into another card, and the level 0 Uzaha sent itself to memory to return another card to hand. So the drawback is it's really not really doing anything to him.
Yeah, and gonna get some reverses off, I think, with this but with a counter here.
Yeah.
Changes, so only getting a reverse off.
Yeah. So because Killua did not play a climax this turn, that level 1 should only be at 13k, which is 1k below Kaze's counter line. Right, and then Killua has triggered a dual climax here, which means he can return a character to his hand. And then if he wants to, he can just immediately pay it out. Looks like he's doing that. And discard a card, send the level 0 Eri to memory, and search for any character. So he's set up for next turn. He's paid out the climax. Should be okay. But Kaze has only taken 2 damage this turn, and I don't believe Kilo's prospects of doing damage are going to get much better across.
I'm going to see if Kaze can resolve another combo.
Yeah.
I feel like the game might be rapidly slipping out of Killua's hands if Kaze gets like one more combo off and just maintains that stock.
One thing about combos like Alice where you make stock is not only do you just obviously compress your deck by removing non-climaxes, but you just become more likely to draw good cards. Obviously your climax is one of them, but because you just tuck away the cards that you don't want anymore, you're more likely to draw the cards that you need later across the game. So I think that is it's usually small, but when you start making 3, 6, 9 stock, it starts adding up, I think, because they can kind of just play the best cards in his deck in the matchup very often. Yeah,
and even your brainstorm, your regular brainstorms hit way more often.
Yeah, that's correct.
Going for the one of the great things about having 2 brainstorms in the back that you can spam is you build so much stock that you don't care if you want to use a bit of it just to go through your deck.
Yeah, you can always pass on a decent deck size, and generally the bottom
sideways card keeps it coming.
The bottom 3 cards of your stock are things that you sent there by choice, but the next 3 cards are the cards you triggered. So a lot of the time you're paying out cards that you want back in your deck, and you get to mill your deck in a favorable way. So it all it just works out perfectly, and is because there's I think that's his 3rd climax combo this game. Yeah, things are looking a bit tough for Killua.
I mean, at some point, it's so hard because when you're playing Saikano here, you just have no ways to interact with your opponent's compression.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, like on Kazare can, which is unfortunate, but that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Killua has Killua reached 4 memory? I think it's only at 3 as well.
That's the 3rd one, but he does have a card in the back row which sends itself to memory to turn into a level 3. Which is the card that requires the 4 memory condition anyway. So Killua can hit that 4 memory threshold when he hits level 3. So he's I think he's set up. At least
Choice coming in as well can technically stock something. The hand is ready. And a memory counter, eyeing the memory counter, but decides to adds the
Asuna heal. Yep. So yeah, because that can kind of get out of the potential lethal range if he takes too much damage in the following turns. He can also heal off climaxes that he takes at refresh penalty, which is also somewhat likely at this stage of the game. Right, and that's a front from Gazelle, meaning Killua can send his Uchiha to memory and return the level 1.
That stock lineup is so it's so long.
Yeah, it's very long. Can't get an exact count as it's a little bit hard to see over webcam, but
I think it's a lot.
Yeah, I'd say it's 10 to 12.
10 to 12. That sounds about
a good guess.
Could be more.
Could be more. But I think if Kazare has an opportunity to use another combo next turn, he might start considering not putting cards to stock, as he's running out of cards that he actually wants to put in stock, and he might just take the hand to keep the cards that he needs to play the next turn the best he can. All right, so Killua also fortunately didn't take too much damage, so he's still at level 2, and he does have a few ways to contest that board, but it is still only kind of just contesting. So if Kazare has a counter, the 3k counter, which it is at the bottom of the deck, to be fair.
Yep. And now this, because of the two beaters, all right, it's at least threatening the board more, right?
Yeah.
One is pretty easy to replace, but 2 Alice's.
But at the same time, how much value have those cards gotten so far?
Yeah, it's gotten so much value.
Yeah, it's probably fine. She can retire for a bit and get called in when Kazare needs her again.
Yeah, and also they salvaged the heal to stock, right? The early play heal to stock. So
by that getting answered, there's kind of just like an opportune moment here to play the level 3 down.
Yeah.
All right.
Going for Kilo on another refresh as well. Unfortunately, I think it's fallen behind in terms of damage.
Yeah, that compression and the fact that Kazare has just gotten more climaxes, this game has really counted. And that's another penalty climax, which is
not the best.
Yeah. It also happens to be the dual climax, which is what Killua wants to seal the game.
And Eri getting the Megumi again.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, it's just gonna be lots of healing, right?
Yeah.
Compress and heal.
But yeah, at this moment, while the resources are both, I'd say, abundant, Kilo's resources are very finite. He doesn't have ways of gaining resources out of nowhere. Even though All Night Gaming does give him a free stock, he does have to sort of stun his own cards. And there's only so many cards in the deck that can take that without losing tempo, whereas Kazet kind of needs to just draw a choice to gain advantage here.
So here's an interesting thing: is normally when you're playing its SAO as Saikano, your opponent runs the Sortalina to not just put things back, but it's also an anti-memory card. It sets your opponent's memory back to 4. But because Kazer is not running it, Killua can be more aggressive in memory, putting things to memory.
Oh, that's true.
Not having to worry about it.
All right. So yeah, I guess in that case, Killua can potentially reach a sort of win condition through memory by just compressing his deck to such a point that Kazer is unlikely to win. But
it's a bit of a long shot still,
it's a bit of a long
it's
shot.
been so slow.
Yeah, he hasn't got much time left being at this stage of the game. Kazer also is playing Argo, which is a finisher that typically is able to sort of pierce through that sort of compression with just the sheer amount of damage it has, as well as the fact that it's a cancel burn. So you either take one of the direct attack, so the character's main attack for 3 or 4, or plus the burn, which is just 6 damage, or you're taking a cancel. And the thin deck just means that you're going to be taking more refresh penalty as well. So yeah, this is a little bit better for Killua than I remembered, as Kazer is not playing the Sortalina, but yeah, nonetheless, it is going to be tough.
If you wanted to put memory as your win condition, you had to have a hand to start going from the early game, but I feel like half of it was just you didn't because Killua didn't get it, and because there was also kind of denying some of it with just the natural power the brainstorm has.
It is it's a bit of a dilemma, because to stop Kazer from building too much stock and resources, Killua does need to contest the board using the level 1 Eriri, but in doing so he misses opportunities to just create more of his own compression. So
I guess here you have some juicy targets to attack into, and did that just cancelled. It's good. It's good.
Brainstorm hit 2. So
that was a brainstorm. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So that's let's do heals, which Killua most likely won't be playing yet this turn, but he will be able to heal down for a few more times in this game.
And I mean, gonna go for another refresh soon as well. And then now, like, he's got the 2-1 in the back and turn into a Megumi, but also using Izumi's effect to top 4 check.
Yeah,
probably just gonna go through the deck at this point.
Looks like it. He did lose 2 climaxes from the brainstorm, so he most likely doesn't want to pass on a risky deck like that. So he's gonna be able to go through the remaining 2 and then heal down, so he also doesn't have to pass on 3 and 1. Yep, so there's another.
I mean, Kazer could get more stock.
Kazer could get more stock, yeah.
It's on 2. It's like, I think he's taking like 1 damage each turn.
Interestingly, Killua takes the refresh counter here, so he is guaranteed to win 1 lane using the level 3 Megami this turn. But I'm not too sure if he actually wants to use it yet. The Megami is also notably not that strong on defense, so it might not actually be enough to predict. Unfortunately, that's another climax. I think that's 3 and 3 this game. Well, he's refreshed the climax.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is. And then puts 2 down.
Okay, so yeah,
the Megami just straight up wins. Right, you can't counter it. It's hex proof. It's basically, it has everything on it in a way when you have 4 memory. And it used to be one of the really strong cards. Nowadays it's still good, of course.
It would probably be good in any set that makes memory, but yeah, the rest of the deck is probably not quite in tune with the rest of the metagame at the moment. So
Yeah, the metagame is
Yeah.
very, very
a
fast.
few climaxes being lost, but I'm sure he'll be okay for a little bit.
And a grand total of like 1 damage was dealt. Now back to SAO doing SAO things.
Yeah. I think Kazaa just kind of needs to make sure that he maintains his deck compression and slowly deal enough damage for that Killua can't continue to cancel.
Yeah.
Because the rate of compression, based on the number of cards I can see in Killua's memory, is not all that different. But again, Kazaa is just ahead, and he has more opportunities to create compression than Killua does.
And the nice gimmick about that early play Asuna is when you cancel during her battle, she can go back to hand,
which is fairly likely right now.
Yeah, and when you comes into play, it's a heal to stock, so it's just continuing healing like that.
It also dodges getting reversed, which means that if Killua attacks with Megami using the combo and Kazaa cancels the 3, he won't be able to burn for 2.
Yep.
So yeah, it does set up pretty well against that. And with Killua using the refresh counter at this point, very much earlier than
it's pretty early, isn't it?
Yeah, but I guess he just kind of needs all the cancels that he can take. At the same time, it does mean that Killua has potentially 0 lanes to combo next turn if he draws into a door. So not too sure how the rest of the game is going to look from here.
I don't think there's even if you draw into the door, is there even a point comboing? I feel like you might as well just spend the time healing, because the amount of damage that it's going to go through.
I think.
Would you prefer to deal the damage or continue to heal?
Getting more instances of damage in at this point is probably necessary, given that Kazaa is just ahead on damage and on similar to / better compression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So nice cancel. And then this.
Oh,
that's not good.
That is definitely not good. Right. Yeah. So Killua, I think has 2 more heals in the hand.
Yeah, should have more heals in the hand. I think can heal probably down to like 3 here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's
clocking.
All right, so it looks like he decided he's not going to have enough turns left in the game,
but there's no way you're gonna beat SAO.
No, I don't think it's likely, but well,
I think it's like a hyper long shot, you know.
Yeah. Also, that Kazaa has the Asunas, which may not be reversed. Okay, he only had 2 stocks, so yeah, he can't heal down. So.
Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be a Hail Mary here.
Yeah,
but
that is another all night gaming. I think that's the most all night gaming I've seen being played in a single game in a long time.
That does build a stock though, right?
Yeah. So now, I don't think there's a level 3 in the waiting room, but if there was, Killua could turn that level 2 Megami into a level 3 Megami to heal 1 additional time, but most likely he's not going to be going for that line today.
Yep. And I mean, that 2 can turn into a Megami as well. Going for, I guess you can do something like tap Megamis first and then swing with the area in, try and get a. Well, that's the wrong.
That is the wrong combo. So I suppose he just was not able to draw the door.
Oh, that's not good. You want to keep that in the deck.
Yeah. This set does
not using the bar. Wow.
This set doesn't have climax swap at this stage. So. Yeah, I think Killua opted to just avoid losing an extra climax, but that's more damage than
you expect.
But also probably not enough to end the game.
Still not enough. Just swing with the area. Actually took all of it. actually took all of it.
All right.
Did he
Underestimate.
pay out another climax? Didn't quite save it. It looked.
Yeah, but because they're hitting level 3 does mean that he can just play down his Argos now. So
Yeah. I think it could be pretty GG. If, because there just drops his finisher. This Killer's at too high damage. Looks like too many climaxes are out.
he has to cancel 2 attacks per Argo if Kazir plays his board out. I think his deck is too thin to say that he can avoid taking a refresh penalty. So
Let's cancel it. I think it's just got to cancel everything. That's the easiest solution.
yeah. All right. So
And
not sure.
what's happening with the board?
I think they're just checking what's going on. Is
I think probably
because there's camera frozen, or is he just not moving very much?
it could be frozen.
Looks like it's frozen. It seems a bit odd for him to just not be moving at all like this, but just imagine there's some
Okay, just think 3 Argos are coming down.
yeah.
And things are happening.
Oh, there it
no,
is.
the camera's back.
He's moving. So it looks like he was actually just staying very perfectly still.
Yes, it's the
The invisibility trick.
yes. It's the new strategy. So Ironclad event come.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, there's stuff that's reversed on the board. There's an Ironclad event there. Maybe it went too far without moving things off the board, but
yeah.
I think it's pretty academic here. Search out your finisher and it's GG. Is there's actually like no there's like no outs to this. I feel like if we play this out normally.
At this stage of the game, even without the combo, like multiple Argos would be threatening enough to end the game with that many climaxes out.
I think you could even just swing 3 times and you're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Is the Arsenal bouncing back to hand a mandatory effect? But
No,
he didn't.
I don't believe he cancelled.
He didn't cancel, right? So.
Sorry. I think.
Oh.
I'm just worrying about the location of cards.
Yeah, I think the damage. Was it a refresh? Probably. Oh.
No, it's
no refresh, right?
I think some stuff maybe just got lost, but
yeah, I think cards maybe were put in the wrong position.
Yeah. But looks like
okay,
the issue
looks
was
like it's
resolved.
resolved. Nice.
So that is fine.
All right, so Kazir's turn now. Let's his hand is all right still. You know,
Yeah.
after so many turns of combo.
Also, it does tend to bleed a bit of hand though because you have to discard a card to heal. He did play over, I think, at one point.
Here it is.
His hand, yeah. But there's 2 Argos.
I think 2 is even enough, right?
I think 2 is, yeah.
You don't need that many. You already know there's quite a few out.
Yeah, with all right, and then there's double combos, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 instances of damage that healer will have to cancel, and I don't think
Does Kilo even have enough?
I think it's not impossible, but okay,
it just takes it. Unfortunate.
Yeah,
But,
I think this deck was possibly a bit too thick for that. If you cancel 3 on the bottom every time, and then the Musashi's also burn for 3, and he canceled those every time, I think it could possibly have been.
Yeah, but it's a long shot,
It's
right?
a very long shot. It's
a
very close to 0.
very close to approaching 0. So yeah, we have Kazair moving us through. Unfortunately, one of our non-SAO players did not make it through top 8.
So we're gonna have at least 3 SAOs in our top 4.
Yes, but it just shows you the power of SAO right now, and why it's so good, and why, you know, something like Saikano would be struggling a bit when you see someone's stock reach the end of their playmat, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to like kind of shuffle move up the stock to make more space. You know how it is, right? That shouldn't be happening in Modern Weiss Schwarz. What do you think of the match, Ken, overall? Your opinion?
I think Kilo sending all those cards to memory because I didn't have the Sortolino was probably a pretty good call. But yeah, I think ultimately just like the difference in options and like tools that the next had kind of just showed out in the end. SA was just a lot faster at making that compression because you directly get stock, whereas Saikano has to go through a refresh. So I think that really showed, and it was unfortunate for Kilo, but good job of making top 8 nonetheless.
Yep. And this is the only Argo SAO in the entire top cut. So it'll be interesting to see how it compares to the other builds that are floating around. So with that should be it for our top 8. We'll be right back with the top 4. And we'll see who's made it through. All right? See you soon.
すごいな。世界は危険でいっぱいだ。気をつけてくれよ。
お手柔らかにお願いします。
バンドリガールズバンドパーティーも春菜って呼んで。モッピンパーティー。
フロントファイターと
キラキラドキドキしたいね。
架け橋ね。アフターグロー。
どっちさん。
今日もいつも通り行こう。
パステルパレット。みんなで最高のステージにしようね。
ロゼリア。このメンバーで頂点を目指すわ。
ハローハッピーワールド。世界を笑顔に。モルフォニカ。輝く景色を一緒に。
レイザー水蓮。暴れる準備はいい？
個性豊かなバンドメンバーとライブを成功させよう。リズムゲームパートではゲームオリジナル楽曲がたくさん遊べる。さらにライブ背景を MV にして遊べる楽曲も。そしてリズムゲームの体感もパワーアップ。有名カバー楽曲も続々登場。知ってる楽曲でたくさん遊べるよ。最大5人での協力ライブが可能。みんなで協力してライブを成功させよう。バンドライフを楽しむアドベンチャーパート。ラウンジでは次々に交わされるメンバーたちの会話が見られるよ。日常やさまざまな会話を楽しもう。私たちと一緒にキラキラドキドキする毎日を過ごそう。バンドリガールズバンドパーティー大好評配信中。始めよう私たちのバンドライフ。
「
Weiss Schwarz. 10 years journey with Sword Art Online. Now on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Booster Pack Animation Sword Art Online 10th Anniversary. Now on sale. Bushiroad. 'Weiss Schwarz. It's time to show off the best performance on the stage of 'Weiss Schwarz. Intro deck and booster pack, Bang Dream, Girls Band Party, 5th Anniversary. Now on sale. Bushiroad. 'Weiss Schwarz. The Academy was the Girls' Orchard. The popular visual novel series joins the stage of 'Weiss Schwarz. The fruit of Grisaya Trial Deck and Booster Pack. Coming soon. Bushiroad. 'Weiss Schwarz. 10 years journey with Sword Art Online. Now on the stage of 'Weiss Schwarz. Booster Pack Animation Sword Art Online 10th Anniversary. Now on sale. Bushiroad.
バンドリガールズバンドパーティー、ポッピンパーティー、キラキラドキドキしたいな。
アフターグロー、今日もいつも通り行こう。
パステルパレット、みんなで最高のステージにしようね。
ロゼリア、このメンバーで頂点を目指すわ。
ハローハッピーワールド、世界を笑顔に。モルフォニカ、輝く景色を一緒に。
レイザー水蓮、暴れる準備はいい？
個性豊かなバンドメンバーとライブを成功させよう。リズムゲームパートではゲームオリジナル楽曲がたくさん遊べる。さらにライブ背景を MV にして遊べる楽曲も。そしてリズムゲームの体感もパワーアップ。有名カバー楽曲も続々登場。知ってる楽曲でたくさん遊べるよ。最大5人での協力ライブが可能。みんなで協力してライブを成功させよう。バンドライフを楽しむアドベンチャーパート。ラウンジでは次々に交わされるメンバーたちの会話が見られるよ。日常やさまざまな会話を楽しもう。私たちと一緒にキラキラドキドキする毎日を過ごそう。バンドリガールズバンドパーティー大好評配信中。始めよう、私たちのバンドライフ。
Weiss Schwarz. It's time to show off the best performance on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Intro deck and booster pack, Bang Dream, Girls Band Party, 5th anniversary, now on sale. Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz. The Academy with the Girls' Orchard. The popular visual novel series joins the stage of Weiss Schwarz. The Fruit of Brisaya Trial Deck and Booster Pack. Coming soon. Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz. 10 years journey with Sword Art Online. Now on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Booster Pack Animation Sword Art Online 10th anniversary. Now on sale. Bushiroad.
バンダリガールズバンドパーティー、ポッピンパーティー、キラキラドキドキしたいな。
アフターグロー、今日もいつも通り行こ
パステルパレット、みんなで最高のステージにしようね。
ロゼリア、このメンバーで頂点を目指すわ。
ハローハッピーワールド、世界を笑顔に。モルフォニカ、輝く景色を一緒に。
レイザー水蓮暴れる準備はいい？
個性豊かなバンドメンバーとライブを成功させよう。リズムゲームパートではゲームオリジナル楽曲がたくさん遊べる。さらにライブ背景を MV にして遊べる楽曲も。そしてリズムゲームの体感もパワーアップ。有名カバー楽曲も続々登場。知ってる楽曲でたくさん遊べるよ。最大5人での協力ライブが可能。みんなで協力してライブを成功させよう。バンドライフを楽しむアドベンチャーパート。ラウンジでは次々に交わされるメンバーたちの会話が見られるよ。日常やさまざまな会話を楽しもう。私たちと一緒にキラキラドキドキする毎日を過ごそう。バンドリガールズバンドパーティー大好評配信中。始めよう私たちのバンドライフ。
Had an exciting amount of stock gained the last game. How much stock do you think will be gained this game? I think there might be more. Possibly, Ken?
I think the SAO player might have to hold down because every deck in the top 4 now does have access to stock swap though. So
do they?
Yeah.
Do they? Well, we'll see. We have our top 4 lined up. I think you've been paying attention. You might know what it is. We have the 2-1-2 Dead made it through with Escanor. We'll be facing Varga, who's running SAO. And then we have Simon versus Kazair that we just saw on stream, both playing SAO. So we got a confirmed SAO already in the finals. Will we see an Escanor versus SAO finals, or will it just be SAO versus SAO? We'll find out very, very soon, because we are watching the Escanor versus the SAO matchup. The one Escanor we watched yesterday, Ken, there was a lot of stock gained, right?
Yeah,
there
was.
Yeah, so this time, 2 players gaining stock. Does it get better than this?
Who knows? It might.
It might. We'll see. We'll see, right? Who is actually favored in this matchup? Because yesterday we saw the Escanor versus HoloLive matchup. What about against SAO?
It sort of depends on the top end, I guess. I think Kirito's minus soul ability is pretty effective against SAO. You just need to put up multiple Kiritos so you don't get bounced on more than one lane, and that's just the end of it. But I think the SAO player we have on stream today, this match is not Kirito.
No. So, funnily enough, if we do have the decks, if we can quickly flash to the decks that we're watching, I think we saw in the beginning. But this one, we have the Escanor one that, you go to Escanor, hits big in increments of 1 damage, kind of can just, you'll deal damage, right? Basically, unless you're so good at canceling, But if we can swap over to the SAO one, this is actually the Silica lineup. And if we look at the 3 SAO decks that are lined up right now, we have 1 of each. We've got a Silica, we've got a Kiro, and then we have a Argo. So only 1 can reign supreme today, but we'll see who makes it through, right? So with this, both players, I think, will be getting a lot of stock. We saw the Escanor match yesterday explode in stock. Alice gets a lot of stock here, but we'll see some stock swapping, I think. it was an impressive stock swap yesterday, right? Probably one today as well, especially with Silica, right?
Yeah.
Massive damage potential. On the left, we have the Varga. On the right, we have 212 Dead. Bit of a dark screen there. Hopefully,
I think it will appear soon.
Yes, it's been working the whole time until we joined the match. But it'll be interesting to see who starts off. What's
here we are.
Generally, who wants to begin here? You know,
Well, I think it's always just better to go first.
it's
but
always better to go first.
I think towards the end of the game, Varga is probably going to want to hit level 3 first, and then either decide whether to go for the long range using Stock Salt plus Silica, or he can also hold that one of opposition by the shield, which prevents all damage from one character that turn. And in doing that, he can turn off the Escanor that's frontal attacking. So either he turns off an Escanor or he forces 212 Dead to make 2 bounces and most likely have to forego some other part of his game plan.
And we see the Guild Thunder get played by 212 Dead.
Yeah.
Actually, pretty much carries the entire level 0, I think.
Yeah, I think because it can only move in front of a character though, Varga can play some stuff in the back row and then play an Arsenal which goes to 4k on defense. And then just only attack with the characters which are equal to or larger than Guild Thunder. That way he can deal with the Guild Thunder if he wants to slow down the game. Looks like that won't be the case here though. So
Masumi comes down.
It's not the Misumi, yeah. Opposition by the shield is alright, so it's making 3 attacks here with this setup. Okay, that's unusual because I think he did take some damage on the first attack, so it's pretty safe to say that he's going to hit level 1 by next turn. But with just this amount of stock, this amount of deck size changing, his hand must be pretty solid to make this 3 attack turn right over here without answering the Guild Thunder.
I feel like when you're sure that you're going to hit level 1 next turn, you can afford to just drop 3 because here you just want to make stock, right? If your rest of the hand is kind of set, then yeah, why not? Just get 3 stock, and that's probably the highest you can get before. Well, you can get higher if you have a Leafa, but it's kind of a nice amount of stock to have if you want to start going off the next turn.
I think yeah, if Varga does have a Leafa here, he can level up next turn, play Leafa to add the Administrator back to hand, use the Administrator to go through another 4 cards, and then he may be able to just set up from there. But anyhow, from experience, I think going into your Alice turn on your second turn, going turn 2 is it's a bit hand dependent. It does require a hand to look 1 or 2 certain ways. And I'm curious to see if Varga's hand is capable of pulling it off.
It's just going to move up the Elaine. The Brainstorm is played. This is the a double, so it can immediately start.
Yeah, looks like 212 Dead does have a stock cell here.
So it can immediately start climax comboing.
Yeah, so it looks like, yeah, Varga may have put up his board just to kind of cushion some damage, make sure he doesn't hit a high damage threshold too early in the game, but nonetheless, he will need to somehow deal with the board that 212 Dead has presented. So let's see.
So just pretty much, I think everything is going to get reversed here, right? Like,
yeah.
Because we mentioned it before, SAO board isn't that powerful.
No, especially not on defense. It doesn't aim to really defend anything until it hits the Alice lineup. So,
so 1 damage taken, or 2 damage taken.
2 damage, 1 instance, yeah. It's a stock swap. And then...
Well, I think he's lagging, but that will be 3
yeah,
damage.
That should be for 3 damage.
Yeah. And,
Alright, looks like he took that one. Oh, he's lost an Alice into his clock. Yeah, that is just one of these unfortunate occurrences that you can't really do anything about when you're playing Alice. Or
I mean, it could be worse. Like, you could lose 2.
Yeah, you could. I think at this stage, Varga actually can consider waiting until he hits level 2 But judging by the way he's going through his deck, maybe that's not what he's gunning for this game.
Yeah. And going for the clock draw 2.
Yeah. Right. It's very. I think there's no route to guarantee a triple when you only have 3 Alices. Unless that is you've already hit level 2 where you can just play stuff from your hand.
Play one down. Yeah.
Yeah. So generally, I think with 3 stock, the most likely line is that you gain 1 stock from Letha, and then you brainstorm 4 times in a 13 card deck, and the odds of getting triple there are I think above 50%. But yeah, with 3, it's a bit different. So he is going through his deck pretty quickly without having to use stock though. So it's possible that Varga might go for a triple 3 brainstorms in a 10 card deck maybe, which has a pretty solid chance of getting 2 out. And
yeah, at some point you have to choose, like, you know, you want to get 3, but 2 is like not bad.
2 is all right.
Yeah.
And you know, this deck just doesn't really have attackers aside from Alice, so you kind of just have to go for it somewhere until especially if you're going second, because your hand is not big if you try a lane like that. So
yeah, but you can start making it back.
Yeah.
And then just gonna play the administrator down.
So yeah, administrator with the clock. It's the silicone hand.
So looks at top 4. Can grab a level 1 or higher.
Yeah, and then he's gonna shuffle some cards back into the deck using the
Alice
level
effect.
1 Alice, yeah, and he's reduced the power of the level 0 Elaine. So if he's able to play another Alice Brainstorm and reduce it by another 1000, it will go down to below 0, and the card will go to the waiting room. Right.
Usually doubles do come down.
Yeah,
because you just want to put all of it back.
It makes your board bigger. It keeps your it gives you more opportunities to shuffle your 2 1s in. Yeah, you typically just play 2 down. All right, so
we'll see a surprise when he comes back. If he's able to get the triple or not.
Yeah. I think though there is an argument for reducing the power of Gil Thunder here instead, as if Vargo only gets double Alice. No, sorry, no, he can just put the level 0 in the middle. But depending on what's in his hand, he might want to reduce the Gil Thunder instead to make sure that he can fight 3 lanes properly. If the last card in his hand, oh sorry, no, it actually won't matter. Yeah, so that should be okay. Oh wait, no, sorry. If I
you're trying to do maths.
Yeah,
maths
no, sorry, I've confused.
Live, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, if he reduces the power,
live, right?
if he reduces the power of the Elaine twice instead of the waiting room, the Gil Thunder can move to any slot in the front row. And if the last card in Varga's hand has less than 2000 power, the Gil Thunder could move to the middle, and that would match the power, match a 1500 power character, or be larger than anything below it, as Gil Thunder is 3/5, and Varga will be playing a 1k1 climax with 2 globals in the back row, so that's plus 2k. So yeah, I think as a failsafe to... Oh, okay.
There's the board.
Kind of skipped ahead in time. But,
time skip, right?
Yeah.
We've got two Alices. 2 Alices, and well, I mean, they're all Alice.
Yeah. So it looks like a 2 Alice plus 1. But is it possible that
can we get a
Varga
third?
Does... Yeah. It doesn't look like he has any stock, so the third one probably isn't coming out. But more importantly, does Varga not have another card to play on his board? Because that Alice combo is okay, no, sorry, he's shuffling back. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But interesting that he's put the Alice in the front because that Alice combo cannot touch the waiting room unless you have 4 other characters. So if Varga plays a climax before putting another character down, he will actually just not be able to resolve his combo whatsoever.
Yeah, it's a bit of a newbie trap, that one.
Yeah,
You
forget.
Like Esco.
all right. Like, he actually
That's not the right
doesn't-
climax.
Yeah. He either doesn't have a choice or he just opted not to play because he can't feel his board. But this is very bad news for Varga because that means his Alice's go into 2-1-2 Dead's turn with just 10k power, and with only 10k power, 2-1-2 Dead's level 1 Dianes could scale over those Alice's much more easily.
Yeah, and just to let the chat know, it is with 2-1-2 Dead can actually see what's going on, so it's just a kind of a graphical issue on our end here. So
it looks like it's triggered a choice. It's a hard call here. Normally having a 3k counter on your Alice's puts them to 14k, which protects them fairly well against 7 Deadly Sins, as the level 1 Diane hits for 12.5 and then another 1k from the level 0 blue character. Sorry, I forget his name, but he can give 1k, so it goes to 13.5, and 11k Alice plus 3k counter goes to 14, which is usually enough. But with the 1 open slot here, it's actually not going to be enough. So Varga missed an opportunity to gain hand here, and then is also fairly likely to lose his board. So I think he's going to have a bit of a tough time recovering.
Okay, it's not the worst situation though, because how does 2-1-2 Dead deal with those Alice's, right?
Well, I believe he's playing 3 copies of the level 1 Diane, of which 1 is in his level zone. So if he doesn't have those available, he will not be able to deal with them. So I guess Varga will most likely just hope that 2-1-2 Dead doesn't have the remaining 2. If it's just 1, it's probably not so bad.
So this is a nice tech. You're in an SAO meta and you run this, because I don't think everyone was running this one.
No,
I mean,
this is a relatively new addition, and the way 2-1-2 Dead is playing this turn looks like Varga's Alice is coming back. All right,
they're sticking around. Yeah. Okay. And I guess this is kind of maybe one of the weaknesses you could say of the Escanor deck is like your combo isn't guaranteed to get you the cards you need.
Yeah, effects like this typically you kind of you sort of mitigate that weakness by playing stronger level 0 utility cards. But the nature of Escanor is that a lot of your ultimate goal isn't very it's not a very flexible type of goal. So you can't just get whatever level 0s, play the game with that, and then eventually finish on whatever you get. You do have some specific things that you need, so I think you probably have to make some concessions here and there in that regard. But that is at least good news for Varga.
And it looks like 1 damage and then a refresh.
That's another Alice at the bottom there. So was Varga playing the level 0 Sortolina?
Yes, his list does. I think there's only 1 list currently that doesn't run it in top cut, and that was Kazai's.
Okay. So that means with the 2 analyses in the waiting room, when Varga hits level 2, he can use Sortolina just to grab them and play them from hand.
Just takes this one, goes to level 2 now. On the plus side, it does mean that Varga can play the third Alice pretty easily.
Yeah.
And then swing in here, 2.
Outlands. And then finally another one for 3. That is not too good.
Just took it all.
Roughly a level and a bit of difference. Well, Varga will have to make a comeback plan here. I think if he's able to resolve combo and cancel reasonably, Varga could probably get 2-1-2 Dead at a mid-level 2 stage. and then from there, most likely, Varga will have to try
Stabilize,
and, stabilize and try to end the game by using a stock swap plus his Silica combo.
I mean, when you reach these situations where like it's not great, that your game hasn't been going well, you really have to start relying on your more how do you say outs that are a bit harder to reach, but you have to hit them in order for you to stay the game, right?
Yeah.
You have to take some risks. You can't always just play the safe game. And that pretty much separates the difference between like a good and like the best players, in that, you know, you can how they recover from bad situations. Do they just continue playing the normal game and just unfortunately play to their demise, or do they change up their game plan and go and keep on playing the right way, which might be a different kind of different play style?
All right, so Silica doesn't heal, but it does fortunately have a pretty reasonable finishing threshold. So I think Silica plus.
But that doesn't look like a good start though.
No, that is not a good start. Not at all.
That's the wrong climax again.
But yeah, if Varga is somehow able to find that point, he could go for the stock swap plus Silica. But yeah, the lack of stock is a bit concerning.
Yeah, Silica, although it doesn't require a lot of stock resources, it does require a lot of hand resources.
Yeah.
And if your entire game plan hasn't been getting your hand, it's supposed to get hand in stock.
Yeah. The other very large issue that Silica has is that her
doesn't heal.
Her ability where she adds cards to hand is it counts the number of characters that opponent has. So if 2-on-2 Dead thinks that Varga is going to go for a Silica next turn, he can just chump his front row, move his back row up, and then just chump everything.
But 2-on-2 Dead just took all that damage as well.
Yeah, but that actually just means that 2-on-2 Dead can just throw the last card in his back row up and then chump 3 times. And then Varga just won't be able to dig for...
Okay, but here's the issue, is Varga showed that he grabbed the stock swap. So it's in his... I think it's in his hand, yeah?
Mm-hmm. So
he
hit 2 on Brainstorm.
If right now 2-on-2 Dead is pretty compressed. If he eats a stock swap, I think it's gonna be not great.
Yeah.
But maybe 2-on-2 Dead just can you just push for game, or
There's 2 Escanors in hand.
He's preparing.
Yeah. 2-on-2 Dead is at it's a little bit hard to say. I think it's on 2 and is that 5 or 6? Regardless, though, it is a point that 2-on-2 Dead can hit himself up to level 3 next turn, regardless of how many attacks Varga does.
On 2-6 right now,
so he can just clock up next turn and go for game.
No, but here's the issue: is I think you're running into a scary prospect where you can eat a stock swap and then just
yeah. But Varga might have to stock swap here, but I think it's hard to expect another turn from this point at the moment, because 2-on-2 Dead just took a lot of damage last turn. And it also does look like that 2-on-2 Dead isn't chumping his board in, so Silica will probably be able to get cards in hand next turn.
I don't think he has stock for a Silica and stock swap though.
No, I don't think he can do both. At least not Silica, like triple Silica plus stock swap. Looks like maybe one of each at best.
And then just another one with a triple hand advantage. Puts it in. And then another card goes to stock. And then maybe he doesn't fear anything. He's going to stock what your stock's on. Yeah. You want to do it, just do it. That's not afraid.
Yeah. So that's 2.
Varga's now at level 3. And then on attack, another 2 goes in as well.
Yeah, so That's
I
more
mean, you can
cards
trigger a True Soul here, and it's like
You could, you
lethal.
could. Yeah, but that's more cards in clock than Varga can heal next turn. So yeah, that is 100% his last turn. That's also the shield gone. So Varga will have to work with what he currently has, but
And yeah, 200 to kind of chump the front row. So at best, Silica only searches for 2 cards, which is it's not the best. Well, no, it doesn't. So it looks at top 2 cards.
Yeah.
So the range that it gets is
yeah.
not
He
as
also
good.
has been playing doors out of his hand, so I'm not sure if he possibly has another one already.
Mm. Maybe the hand is just full of climaxes at this
Could
point.
be. Hard to tell.
How is Vargan to do this turn? Does he have any heal downs?
Deck is
Heal
a
downs are
little
pretty.
too thick to guarantee getting any one card out of it with Silica. So yeah, the problem is that if he clocks here to try and draw cards and then play Silica, he faces the issue of possibly going too deep for the refresh penalty.
Yeah, because Slicker just doesn't heal as well, so you have to keep that in mind. It's counted cards. Then probably finish counting now. What's it's you have to stock swap here, right? There is no way you're not. I feel like
I think you probably have to, yeah. Oh, so he is the Eincrad. After clocking, is that?
It's at 3-6.
Yeah.
So he knows he has to go.
Yeah.
He knows it's the last turn. They're doing a bit of counts. There's not that many climaxes out. Basically triggered nothing as well. So that's one of the things. Like you saw last turn, 2-1-2 dead didn't trigger anything. No climaxes are gone. They're probably all in the deck.
Right. So there's a stock swap.
There it is. There's a lot of stock.
Is that about 10 stock?
All clean as well.
Yep. So with the refresh, I think 200 dead can only.
200 is like a refreshing like two climax, I think though.
He hit 2 on Brainstorm. I think he may have paid 1 more out, but yeah, no, that deck doesn't have a whole lot of climaxes in them, I think.
I mean, I think 2-1-2 dead might just lose here. If there's like no
Varga has a shot here. It's just whether or not there's going to be additional cards played this turn.
I mean, remember though, compression is a lie. Even in a decompressed deck, you manage to always hit the I need to refresh first. Yeah.
Refresh, level up.
And then 1. And then what is the follow-up from Varga? Does he just move that up and swing?
So you can fairly...
I feel like now chumping, you have an empty slots like that. It's kind of going against you.
There is more damage on the board, so that's 3-2-2. So that's exactly 7. Oh, there's a 7.
Here it is.
So if there's a combo climax in Varga's handle top 2.
Yeah.
He does immediately get an additional 5 damage on the board plus a decompress. So whether or not he has it is possibly a big decider in how this game will play out.
Right now, there's 4 instances of damage.
Yeah.
Needs to do 7. It's not exactly the hardest. All the 3s will be swinging for at least 4. The Alice will be at 3 damage. So there's some really nice numbers there already. The only weird one is the Silica will burn for 2. But you know, if you trigger a soul, kind of makes the numbers good again.
So it's a bit hard to see what. All right. So
still thinking of what to do.
All right, so the top card of the deck is a choice revealed by Leafa. So Leafa could stock a card and then draw, if you can draw that soccer card and salvage a climax swap, you can get a door. I don't think Varga is playing the UE drop salvage that can draw and play those, so seems pretty unlikely. Yep, so he's got an Arsenal, which I assume is just any old level 0 that he doesn't have a particular use for this game. Oh yeah, the choice got mixed in.
I think they just reveal a wrong card, so they might have to reshuffle. But yeah, it's comes down to the climax now, right? Do you have the climax or not?
I think this amount of contemplation suggests that he doesn't have it.
Yeah, if you have it, you just slam it.
Yeah,
you put
I
down,
don't think
use the
there's
stock,
much
slam.
else to think about at
But
that point.
Even if it's 3 instances, it's like okay. Even if it's 3 instances, it's still good. Like 4-4, like 4-4, 4-4-3, 4-4.
3. Yeah, that means Varga has to cancel twice, whereas currently it's just 3-3-2, which he only needs to cancel once, assuming no soul triggers. But with soul triggers, in either case, the number of cancels that 2-2 Dead needs to do will probably go up. So yeah, I think the door would definitely help.
Yeah, I think they just had to do a shuffle because they revealed the wrong top card, and now they're going with the climax on top.
Yeah,
so, reversible gain state, guys.
Yeah. The rest of the cards on the deck are random. So
yep. So now, probably at best a slam. If you've been thinking for so long, it's just he's still continuing.
Arsenal, interesting.
Arsenal. What do you get from the Arsenal? Is there an event? Maybe a Grand doesn't do anything.
Not going to do anything as 200 doesn't have anything to counter on.
Ironcrad
will probably just get him closer to refresh. The shield event is in his clock. Don't imagine there's.
Is that 3-6?
Yeah, is it 3-6? I don't imagine there's very much value in milling your deck quite at the moment.
Is there anything else that you can do with this? I mean, it's a 4K beta now.
Yeah, I guess so. But the card that it replaced also had only 1 soul, so I guess he can mill down his deck and then he can shuffle soul icons back in if he has another copy of the Brainstorm in order to try and hit for more. It's
so maybe he just doesn't even have a climax.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, even if he did, I guess dealing 2 damage with the burn and then being able to deal 5 with a direct attack is a total of 7, which in this deck is somewhat desirable, I guess. Was at the moment.
Okay, so he's put 2 back.
Because at the moment, if Varga can play a climax, he swings for 3, 4, and 4, which means the 2 damage is kind of just not really contributing much. Obviously, the shuffle back is quite nice, but promoting to a 5/5 might be good. Unfortunately, I did not quite catch what he put back due to the camera.
I think it was 2 souls.
Yeah, okay. So he is manipulating his deck in such a way that is more likely to trigger what he wants to trigger.
Yeah. If it wasn't 2 souls, then I'd be wondering too. Unless there are no souls and he's gonna slam a climax and going super precise.
Yeah, if there's no soul triggers in the deck, you can play a climax. Just don't worry too much about the 2 damage being extraneous, and then if a 3 and a 4 lands, that's game. It's moving some stuff around. Okay, so now he has 7 damage on board. Okay, back up to 8.
Yeah.
All right, so he does have the climax. Okay, so
then I think he didn't put souls back.
So that's for 4?
4.
Interesting that he attacks with
cancels. Okay, 2-1-2 dead. Nice.
Interesting that he attacks with the Lisbeth first and not the Silica. I would have thought that you'd want to shuffle some cards back in with Silica to make everything else slightly more likely to land. But
so this one's a 3.
Okay.
Cancel.
which
So good.
that-
So that means the other side swung.
yeah. So if the silica burn lands here, and then
This is the silica burn.
Wow.
Wow. And then now you put 2 back. We're so good at this. We're just imagining what's happening. Putting the Escanors back. But there's no way that 2-on-2 dead loses now, right?
No, there's no way that this last damage can be lethal. So 2-on-2 dead can just draw.
How
draw a turn
many?
and then end.
How many climaxes were out? Like, I feel like I want to say there weren't that many climaxes that went back in deck, but
It was 3 that we just saw cancel.
we just canceled 3 off the top. But does 2-on-2 dead have a climax for the?
So it looks like Varga actually put the non-soul icons back into.
Oh my
Okay,
god,
so
that was a
looks like we just
quad cancel, and I think 2-on-2 dead can just
Definitely
pass,
was.
right?
Yeah, 200 deck can just stand the turn here, and
There's only 1
Varga
card left in
will-
Varga's deck, I think.
Yeah,
And
that will
that's.
conclude the game from Varga taking a refresh penalty.
Oh wow.
Alright.
Well, that's that's an ending, I have to say. Just quad cancel that after a stock swap.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there we have it. We have Escanor moving on to the finals, and we'll be facing either an Argo SAO or a Kirito SAO. Which out of the 2 is better for
That's
Escanor
hard.
to fight?
They both have their strengths.
Mhm.
As I said earlier, Kirito can set up multiple cards with the minus soul ability in the front row. So one of the Escanor that front attacks has a more difficult time against that.
They're less damage output, right?
Yeah,
Pretty
less
much.
damage output,
Yeah.
which means that should the Kirito player just cancel the swing from the non-Escanor, that probably guarantees live.
Mhm, mhm.
On the other hand, Argo is probably better suited to going for the game plan where you try and end the game from Escanor's level 2.
Yeah, so just stock swap. Just do what the Hololive game was against Escanor. Stock
because
swap,
your
boom, boom,
output
boom.
is so high, you have a pretty good chance of ending the game with stock swap plus finisher if you can get all the pieces.
Mhm,
Although
mhm.
I guess you could say that Kirito can also use Sortolina to shuffle back cards of the cost that you want to mill with the
Yep.
combo, and then you can do that to burn at least on a similar level to the Marine in Hololive. So I guess maybe Kirito would be slightly better, but they both have reasons to be played.
All right, and with that, we're on to the finals. We'll be back very soon as we sort out the last little bit of the technical stuff on the back end. Stay put. We'll be back very, very soon to watch who will win between either. It's going to be an SAO versus the Escanor. All right, so back soon. See you soon.
バンドリガールズバンドパーティー、ポッピンパーティー、キラキラドキドキしたいな。
アフターグロー、今日もいつも通り行こ
パステルパレット、みんなで最高のステージにしようね。
う。ロゼリア、このメンバーで頂点を目指すわ。
ハローハッピーワールド、世界を笑顔に。モルフォニカ、輝く景色を一緒に。
レイザー水蓮、暴れる準備はいい？
個性豊かなバンドメンバーとライブを成功させよう。リズムゲームパートではゲームオリジナル楽曲がたくさん遊べる。さらにライブ背景を MV にして遊べる楽曲も。そしてリズムゲームの体感もパワーアップ。有名カバー楽曲も続々登場。知ってる楽曲でたくさん遊べるよ。最大5人での協力ライブが可能。みんなで協力してライブを成功させよう。バンドライフを楽しむアドベンチャーパート。ラウンジでは次々に交わされるメンバーたちの会話が見られるよ。日常やさまざまな会話を楽しもう。私たちと一緒にキラキラドキドキする毎日を過ごそう。バンドリガールズバンドパーティー大好評配信中。始めよう、私たちのバンドライフ。
Weiss Schwarz. It's time to show off the best performance on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Intro deck and booster pack, Bang Dream, Girls Band Party, 5th anniversary, now on sale. Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz. The Academy was the Girls' Orchard. The popular visual novel series joins the stage of Weiss Schwarz. The fruit of Brisaia Trial Deck and Booster Pack. Coming soon. Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz. 10 years journey with Sword Art Online. Now on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Booster Pack Animation Sword Art Online 10th anniversary. Now on sale. Bushiroad.
バンドリガールズバンドパーティー、ポッピンパーティー、キラキラドキドキしたいな。
アフターグロー、今日もいつも通り行こう。
パステルパレット、みんなで最高のステージにしようね。
ロゼリア、このメンバーで頂点を目指すわ。
ハローハッピーワールド、世界を笑顔に。モルフォニカ、輝く景色を一緒に。
レイザー水蓮、暴れる準備はいい？
個性豊かなバンドメンバーとライブを成功させよう。リズムゲームパートではゲームオリジナル楽曲がたくさん遊べる。さらにライブ背景を MV にして遊べる楽曲も。そしてリズムゲームの体感もパワーアップ。有名カバー楽曲も続々登場。知ってる楽曲でたくさん遊べるよ。最大5人での協力ライブが可能。みんなで協力してライブを成功させよう。バンドライフを楽しむアドベンチャーパート。ラウンジでは次々に交わされるメンバーたちの会話が見られるよ。日常やさまざまな会話を楽しもう。私たちと一緒にキラキラドキドキする毎日を過ごそう。バンドリガールズバンドパーティー大好評配信中。始めよう私たちのバンドライフ。
You want
Weiss Schwarz. It's time to show off the best performance on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Intro deck and booster pack, Bang Dream, Girls Band Party, 5th anniversary, now on sale. Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz. The Academy was the Girls' Orchard. The popular visual novel series joins the stage of Weiss Schwarz. The Fruit of Grisaya Trial Deck and Booster Pack. Coming soon. Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz. 10 years journey with Sword Art Online. Now on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Booster Pack Animation Sword Art Online 10th anniversary. Now on sale. Bushiroad.
バンドリガールズバンドパーティー、ポッピンパーティー、キラキラドキドキしたいな。
アフターグロー、今日もいつも通り行こう。
パステルパレット、みんなで最高のステージにしようね。
ロゼリア、このメンバーで頂点を目指すわ。
ハローハッピーワールド、世界を笑顔に。モルフォニカ、輝く景色を一緒に。
レイザー水蓮。
Welcome back, everyone. We are in the finals of Weiss Schwarz BRO 2023.
Yeah.
Ken,
Mhm.
how's it been?
I am so happy to see all these SAO decks in
You,
action.
you sure sound happy. Think of all the stock. Actually, last game we didn't get that much stock.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Escanor stocked up. SO kind of didn't. We're here to see who made it into the finals. We know the Escanor, two dead, 2-1, 2 dead, made it.
Yep.
But we have Simon. Simon's in making it all the way to the finals, beating the Algo SAO with the Kyoto build. Let's kind of just quickly take a look at it, refresh our brains, right? Because SAO mirrors do take a while. You would know, right, Ken?
Yeah.
And then here we go. Here is the SAO build that Simon is playing. Kyoto build, what's so good about it? Tell us it in 5 words or less. Ken.
5 words or less. I don't think I can do 5 words. So
I'll just
keep
explain it.
brief then, yeah. So I think one of the strengths of the Kirito build is the fact that you can use the level 0 Yujiro to give your level 3 the minus soul ability when it gets fronted attack. You can pay 2 and discard 1 to reduce the soul of the card in front of it by 2. Which means that you don't have to play the opposition by the shield event and still have a technically sort of searchable defensive option in the deck.
Nice,
so
nice.
I think that's probably a big draw.
And how does it fare against the power of Escanor right now?
So I think being able to set up multiple Kiritos with the minus soul in the front row means that in order to stop Escanor's soul from going down, the Escanor player will have to return multiple Kiritos to hand, which is honestly it's a bit tough. On that.
Do they get hexproof as well, or
they unfortunately don't get any abilities of that kind? But it's just that, you know, if you have 3 in the front row, like your opponent has to front one of them if they have 2 Escanor. So you'll probably be relying on that. On top of that, even though its finish attack seems a little bit unreliable because you're just burning equal to the cost of your milled card plus 1, you can go down to a thin deck and then use Sortalina to put back cards of your desired cost back into the deck and burn with more precision. So you can use that plus the stock swap to go for a long range shoot, I guess.
Yep.
So yeah, I think this again does have the tools to try and beat Escanor, and we'll see how Simon puts them to use.
Yep. And then we have next the People's deck now, apparently, the Escanor build. 2-1 dead piloting all the way to the finals. We saw... Actually, we didn't really see its power last game.
You didn't have to use Escanor. And
I guess that's the power.
Yeah, you could say so. There is certainly a level of strength in the fact that your combos are level 0. So as soon as you have your level 0 out, you don't have to hit level 1 and you can just start pushing damage. If you're going first, especially, I think that gets more pronounced because your opponent has direct attacks. You're making 3 attacks to climax. You're not losing hand. It's
feels good.
Yeah, it can be very powerful in that regard, and it does again have ways to deal with the Alices. So. Yeah, again, I think both players probably at this point know what they're facing off against, and we'll be keen to see how that all rolls out.
All right, and if we're ready, I think everyone is ready. It all comes down to this. Let's take a look at the finals. So Simon on the left from New Zealand, the last Australian hope, I'd have to say, because
of our own region AO.
You know how it is with Australia and New Zealand. If you're a winner, you're from Australia. But then,
yeah,
it's the long-standing tradition. Simon's also got your favorite mat as well.
Yeah, that is a mat that I also own. I think Simon uses it very often for his online tournament.
I think he uses it more often than you do.
Possibly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then we have 2-on-2 Dead on the right, representing America, the United States, playing not Quince. It's got all the Quince baits, right?
That is, I believe, a top 8 mat from last season, though. So,
yeah.
You gotta use your brain.
Gotta rep that.
You can.
And then the Quince center market, but surprise, it's Escanor.
Yeah.
it's the big burly man.
Yep.
So going first, let's see what happens. Going first just is really good, right? I know you rate it very high.
I do love going first. All right, so it looks like Simon's going first in this one, as 2-on-2 Dead has flipped that one first, which is usually what your opponent chooses. You can't choose your own markers. That would be a bit dodgy.
Be a bit sus.
Yeah.
But as you're going first, okay, it doesn't have anything like you drop a Gilth on the turn 1. You look at your hands, right? And usually it's what card don't I really need? You know, what's the least good?
Sometimes you can just play like an attacker that you want to play next turn, be it your Asuna, possibly Misumi, and then you can just get it back using the level 0
Leafa. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So I think just the comfort of being first in SAO, because you don't kind of get forced to consider a turn 2 Alice when you go first. I think it's a much more comfortable speed, and it's fairly unlikely that that Escanor is able to just pull off its combo on turn 1 going second. So yeah, I think just being able to field 3 characters before your opponent's most reasonable level 1 combo timing is probably another big advantage of going first in this matchup.
Right. And I guess one of the other unique cards we see in the deck is the Alice and Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
The Alice and Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah. That card is a 2k assist. It's a level 3. It gives 2k to the cards in front of it. When it comes into play, you can send another character you have to the waiting room to heal a card to stock. And finally, it gives level 3 Kirito the ability where you can pay for and discard 1 at the end of the attack to mill 17 cards from the top of your deck and burn X to your opponent, where X is the number of climaxes milled. If anyone is curious why that number is 17, it is the number of hits that you do in Starburst Dream in Universe, I believe.
Okay.
So, yeah. Simon just triggered a 2-1 Alice, which is not
the best.
But
it's not the best.
He could pay it out and then make the attacks, possibly. But we'll see how he adapts to that. A little bit more on that Alice and Yu-Gi-Oh assist, though. It's an assist, which you kind of need power on offense to make sure that your Kirito stays up so you can use the minus soul ability. Always good. The ability of healing by sending another character to the waiting room is also pretty nice, because oftentimes you have just cards on the board that you don't really need anymore when you're setting up for that Kirito. So, getting rid of a card that you would have otherwise just played over to get a stock and a heal is pretty nice in that regard too.
Oh, look, there's a Gil Thunder party.
Yeah,
right.
So it's triple Gil Thunder, each one with a marker, 1 in the front and 2 in the back. So Simon's card got sided, it looks like. Yeah, so I think 2-1-2 Dead is avoiding that card going to the waiting room and then being picked up by Leafa for a +2k.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be what's going on. So his Guild Thunders are likely to survive here. Simon only has Asuna and the second Asuna, so here we are. Yeah. And the Climax Swap, which can contest Guild.
Oh, there's a triple Asuna.
Wow. All right. Okay, so it looks like 2-on-2 Dead can keep his Guild Thunder facing the smaller Asuna if Simon decides to go ahead and attack 3 times.
Yeah,
That way his Guild Thunder's saved and he can answer 3 Asunas on the swing back.
Simon runs 4 Asanas. So,
Yeah, I think 4 Asuna is almost a given. Alright, so it looks like 200 and promoted 1 Guild Thunder. I think that's facing a 4K, so is that just a damage cushion?
I feel like it's damage cushion because otherwise he'd just move the other one.
Yeah, I think that would be the case. Alright. 1, and then... Right, that's another Alice, but if it's the top of 4 cards in stock, it's not usually too bad.
Yeah, it's easier to get rid of.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think Simon, with the way that the game is moving, can't guarantee triple Alice. So he will probably have to settle with a likely 3 kind of deck manipulation.
Oh, and then a response here.
Interesting. So 200 Ed sacks the level 0 Escanor with the Elaine Brainstorm, which doesn't use cost to Brainstorm, but instead requires a card.
Oh, that's unique.
Yeah, so I think it is the only one that exists in English. Or possibly in both languages. But yeah, it's very interesting. You do not gain hand though if you use the ability and hit less than 2 climaxes.
Yeah.
So in this case, it ends up kind of being a swap at the expense of a climax from your deck. And in a deck like Escanor, where you have stock cells which don't actually give you card advantage when you trigger them, it's kind of fine because you're not losing an opportunity for card advantage in doing so. But here we are. So 200 Dead has dug through his deck a little bit. He's got 2 Wielder of Lusterbane, I believe. The Meliodas. So he can choose to put both of them in the front row just so he can get their effects, or he can leave one in the back just for the follow-up. I think it looks like he's going to leave it in the back and just get the 3 fronts that he can right here. Simon is overall in a pretty comfortable position, I'd say. His Terminal Attacker was... it came back.
Cancels?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only unfortunate thing for him is that there's 2 Alices in his stock, but I guess better there than at 1
Than the clock.
Yeah.
It's always better there than clock. That's a 3 though.
Yeah. But I think you can...
Oh, cancel.
Oh, alright.
Cancels the correct damage, I guess, but
Yeah.
can Simon go to... Is it 0-5 right now, I think?
Well, the deck does play administrators, so he can use that to go through his deck. But is that 0-5? Yeah, it's 0-5. So, yeah, if Simon has an administrator, he can go up. See whether he does. If not, though, 200 Dead does have 2 level 0s in the front row, which means that Simon can kind of just play some level 0s in the front as damage cushions and avoid it taking too much. I think the most awkward part is rather that he most likely doesn't have a great way to pay stock, which means that if he doesn't pay that one on the top... Okay, he does have a Shredder, so looks like it's going to be doing his combo turn. Okay, so he puts away the Asuna Resonance, which it's a bit of a deceptive card. That's Alicization. Most likely we'll just get at the event.
Yeah.
May as well take the... Yeah, it's a deceptive card. And most other decks where we've seen a level 0 that adds cards from hand, from deck to hand, using the combo as a resonance target, you kind of just use that as your deck's main engine. But in this deck, it's kind of more just there to supplement your final turn. It gives power to your Kirito, and it gives it Hexproof as well. So you can use it to dodge your opponent's defensive counters. And it's not really a key card in Escanor because Escanor just doesn't play that sort of defensive play. Neither in board nor damage. So I think tucking it away here is probably just a safe bet.
But even so, if Simon really wants it, he can just swap it out with the administrator again, because administrator has a other skill which just
Yeah, that's
swap the
correct.
level.
All right, so that's
Minecraft event.
Minecraft, yep. And Kirito, I think that's one. Not too sure what the second card is, but okay, he's average level 1, so that is Alice. All right. So we've seen at least one Alice go to the waiting room, so I think there should be 2 hovering. But Minecraft again. All right, so that's the second Alice. So there's 2 in the waiting room and 2 in the stock. If there's a Sortalina in the waiting room, Simon can go to. Oh, there is a Sortalina in the waiting room, so I think he can go for Leafa into Sortalina. Oh, okay, maybe not. So because this deck is a little bit thin,
I think
he can shuffle. Yeah, so then if it's 4, he can shuffle 2 back and
do 1 brainstorm.
Do 1 brainstorm, which pays out the remaining 1. If he hits the 1, there's 3 in. Sorry, he hits 3 out of the 6 in a 2 and 6. So that's what is it, 50%?
Yeah.
50%, 40%. So it's about 20% to miss here. So
Pretty bad if you miss.
Yeah, it's a bit frustrating, but he does have a way to put more cards back in. So if he misses, I think the next one is guaranteed because he has 3 and 5 and then brainstorms a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So looks like we're gonna and then double against Escanor is obviously it's not as good as triple, but it should be okay. Like yes, the stuff gets answered, but you do get your value. So I think as long as you just have the double back row plus the 3k counter, this deck should be comfortable enough. All right, so brainstorm pays out.
Here's the first one. Do we get it?
Yeah,
there's one.
So then he can go to 2 and 5 if he plays down the second brainstorm, and then if he brainstorms there, the chance of missing is 10%. So
I think
he's contemplating an alternative route.
If you can do 1 and then put 2 more back, then the last one is near guaranteed. I think you have a 25% chance of missing that last one.
So you can shuffle 2 back in here, and then if he hits the 90%, then he can go for a 25% on the next one. If he misses that one, then he gets an 100% on the next brainstorm if you can shuffle 2 more cards back in. So 2 is guaranteed as long as he has a card that can shuffle 2 cards back into his deck. 3 is fairly likely.
And then the Leafa. Okay, this kind of helps out.
All right, so that's a 2-1, which means that he can salvage the level 0 Sortalina. On top of that, he can also guarantee that he hits this brainstorm. So if he can, he can use Sortalina.
He already knows he's hitting this brainstorm.
Yeah. So if you can use Sortalina to shuffle back 2 cards, he can go to a 4-card deck after this brainstorm, which means that he can go to a very likely triple.
And
I think this is most SAO's players' least favorite part of playing SAO.
Figuring how to.
Yeah, it's the most. It's usually the part that requires the most practice and just learning the method, because it's unlike most other decks. Previous versions of cards like this weren't able to manipulate your deck with such precision. But it's also just not very exciting for both of you. So
this is when normally in practice, maybe the other guy goes to get a drink.
Yeah.
So we got the 2, and then.
So yeah, if Simon he could shuffle 2 more cards back in, including one of the 2 on Alice's, and then he can brainstorm for 3 in a 4-card deck. If the Alice is not the bottom card, he'll be able to go triple. He does have the stock to pull it off. I think he's just contemplating. Oh, okay, so he goes for double. Let me think. All right, so my guess here is that he doesn't have a costless character in his hand aside from a Swordalina. So if he misses the 25%, he will not be able to resolve Alice combo. And in that case, yeah, I think taking the risk of 25% may not be the right line. It's definitely a bit of a demanding line to be taking in the finals of such a big tournament. So anyhow. So it's getting a 2k counter. Does Simon's list have the 3k counter?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
it runs
sorry,
3 counters. Yeah,
that's right. I mailed them to him. Yes. But it's not salvaging the 3k here. So I'd imagine that means that the 3k counters unfortunately in the remaining 3 cards of his deck. I do not remember seeing it. So
and I think have they stopped? Is it...
no, I think it's just a bit of thinking time going on. But yeah. 200 Dead's Gil Thunder is coming back though. So that is probably quite appreciated. A free attacker in a deck that doesn't have too many plussing triggers and is somewhat reliant on a brainstorm when gaining cards.
So yeah, apparently there is a judge call. That's why it stopped.
Okay.
I think it could be something to do with the Meliodas.
Right.
But yeah, so back to the game a bit. Pretty much triple Alice nearly confirmed here. Probably like a 25% chance of missing. Oh no, he's put.
Oh, sorry, he was already put the climax. So yeah, I think he's opted not to go for the 75% because I'd assume that if he misses the 75, he didn't have a card to replace the. Oh wait, no, you can just you can just get something else from the Swordalina. I'm not sure about that then.
But you have to probably use 2 more stock for it.
I think it's 2 more stock, but in 75% of the time, 1 stock comes back. So it ends up kind of being okay. And I think it's very tough for Seven Deadly Sins to contest triple Alice, like all of it. So I think putting up the 3rd one makes 1 come back. Whereas if putting up 2 means only there's a chance both get answered.
Yeah,
especially without the 3k.
They know what the other player is running. They know the exact deck lists. And they have 4 of a. They have I think it's 3 or 4 Dianes, right?
I think yeah.
So
from memory,
if you commit too much to a 3 and then a few of them get answered, isn't that really bad in your opinion? 3 Dianes.
Well, the thing is that playing 2 Alice and getting 2 answered.
Yep.
Versus playing 3 Alice and getting 2 answered. It's still better to just have the extra Alice untouched.
Okay. All right.
So I think it was a worthy risk, but
yeah,
there is merit. The other thing is that in taking that line, it pays out that Alice at the bottom of the stock, which means that rebuilding your board after it gets answered also becomes easier later down the line. So I think personally, I would have liked going for the Swordalina line, but I guess I'll have to ask Simon some other time.
Okay, so I think it's because of the Meliodas, it needs to be in the center stage.
Yes, to have
the top check of effect.
Right.
Because I think 200 Dead did do a top 2 check. And the Meliodas was in the back. Mm-hmm. So you can't do a top 2 check. Yeah, but I think they resolved it. It looks like what they did, they moved to the front. Because the last turn, the front row was pretty...
Yeah, this would have achieved the same result as what happened last turn.
Yep.
So I think that's what they're rolling with. So
okay. And I think in terms of what will happen this turn, there's not much things that get run over. It's probably better for Simon here because now you get to beat the Meliodas, right? You don't get one sitting around.
The fact that 200 Dead left card in the back row might suggest that he has another one in the hand, so he was kind of saving the top check 2 for next turn, but he may not be able to do that anymore. So
yeah. But yeah, now we're into the Alice phase. I mean, it's always been the Alice phase for a very long time.
Right,
But-
so 2 Arsenals went to stock, and Leafa plus 2K counter just went to hand.
And then just attack.
Yep.
And the trigger is just a blank for 2 damage.
Yep.
Cancels. Not bad. Not bad. I think 2-1-2 Dead will kind of need to get some cancels here because the damage differential is getting pretty big.
Oh, and the bottom card of his deck wasn't the 3K counter, which means that Simon probably just has the 3K counter in his hand.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, you're just ready, right? It's good. Do you really need a 3K counter against this deck? Because you do have the it beats against the Dianes. Yeah.
Notably, the level 0, the blue character, which can pay 1 and clock 1 to get a cost 0 out of your deck. Because it plays the cost 0 straight out of the deck, it doesn't let the Diane gain 1/5 power on play.
Oh.
So yeah, it's the level 1 Diane isn't as potent as certain other versions of the card, I guess, just sort of because of that interaction. Simon just triggered a blank pants, but that happens quite a bit.
Yeah, it's you don't always get everything.
Yeah, but I think in SAO, the value of triggering a pan/gate icon to salvage a choice is just so insanely high that like a lot of the time you're just okay with blanking. Yeah.
And I mean, 2-1-2 Dead here, actually pretty good. Didn't go to level 2.
Yeah, but I think
1/6 is
he's
still
in
quite high.
an awkward spot. He most likely does want to clock, but that would hit him up. And that would not mean many good things for his control. Oh, and he's clocked away level 2 Slayer. Okay.
Oh. I mean, we seen like the previous game with 2-1-2 he just chumped everything.
Yeah. Unlike Silica though, Kirito actually wants your opponent to concede the board. Because it just makes it so much easier for your Kirito to stay up and hold the minus soul. I suppose at this stage, if everything gets chumped, someone won't have an opportunity to send the Yu-Gi-Oh away to memory. But I think with the damage differential here, it's kind of okay. Like he doesn't mind it.
Or maybe 2-1-2 Dead just has a different kind of board wants to go for. Or just has so many Dianes in hand.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
It doesn't look like it.
Going for the climax combo again.
2-1-2 Dead is on a low amount of stock, but he also, I think, only has 1 card left in deck, which means that he won't actually be able to salvage from the Elizabeth, as the card entering his waiting room refreshes his deck, and therefore he won't have a waiting room by the time he does it. So you'll most likely need to find a way around. Here we are. So yeah, he's going to use the Elaine Brainstorm to make sure he has a waiting room by the time he resolves the combo.
This one's a Nanashi's going in.
Yep, and Nanashi. It's not bad.
That does help you break through the 2-1s, but it requires a stock.
It requires a stock, and I don't think that's something that 2-1-2 Dead is too keen on using at the moment.
Yeah, but if you're lucky, you can get rid of 2 of them, right?
Yes. But again, it's Simon got those Alice's out for the card was a straight plus because it came out of the deck.
Yes.
And then the 1 stock that he paid also got replenished by the 1 stock that he gained from the combo. Whereas Nanashi is using an opportunity cost and like an actual stock. And probably a climax out of your deck to do the whole thing. So in a situation like this where Simon is an entire level lower on damage, I think 2
attacks?
2 attacks, and he milled a 0. Fortunately, the climax. So fortunately, he's able to salvage the card, as he did have a level 0 in deck. But waiting room, sorry. With 2 attacks here, looks like Simon is
canceling. This is the real dual laners.
Yeah. And cancel there. Oh, Simon's now, 4 climaxes out though. So he's probably going to have to go through his deck this turn to ensure that he can keep his lead.
But all according to plan, 2-1-2 Dead's Nashi can be.
Yes, but I think Simon's pretty okay with his Alice's,
I think the
getting answered after.
You know what the
2
A in Alice stands for?
Yeah.
Value. Right? It's an A but upside down.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's a climax swap, which means that
he's gonna do
he's
it.
probably got another pans on his hand. Yeah, and as I think you mentioned possibly yesterday that you have so much stock, you can just afford to brainstorm as much as you like with macro to fix your deck, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. I think.
Is there even one Alice still in the deck? One's at the bottom.
The one's at the bottom of the stock. I think that might possibly be.
Just go through, randomly get a good one.
Yeah, he didn't. Oh wait, I think he salvaged. No, last time he salvaged the counter plus. No, I think it was an Alice. So I don't think there's any left in his deck.
So I think the correct way is climax swap first, then spam brainstorm if you want to go through, right?
Yeah. Also, incidentally,
he's just doing it.
Oh, yeah, I think the last Alice is in his hand, so it doesn't actually matter. But anyhow, he can keep going. Yeah. The other thing that
3. What's
triple Alice? Curious, I know Alice. So. The other thing that this line of play does is it sort of cleans your stock in the sense that, again, the cards that you trigger during your turn are not the cards that you want to have in your stock necessarily. So you can just put those in the waiting room, and then your waiting room fills up. You can put the cards that you actually want towards the bottom of your stock, and then your overall card quality in the deck goes up.
I think this is also like all according to plan, right? Because stay low, then mill out. At the same time, I like seeing stock reach the other side of the world.
Yep.
But I don't want to get stock washed like when in that situation. Yeah. So keeping stock at a good level is also quite important, because you can have your deck have only 8 climaxes, but again, a stock swash just makes you lose the game. So you have to put in the correct kind of numbers.
So Simon is considering what 2 cards to stock and what 2 cards to salvage.
This Gilfunder can move in front of the Sortalina, right?
It can, but the Sortalina being 2/5 base will go to 4/5 with the climax and the 2 globals. So
very big.
Yeah, it's big enough to contest the Gilfunder, and Simon has re-accessed the climax swap that he just played over with Sortalina.
3.
Yeah.
So cancel. That's nice.
It's nice, but Simon has 2 more swings for 3 here. That's a choice. So Simon's advantage goes up a little bit. I think he might
get a hand or stock, right?
Also stock. Okay.
So
I suppose he
cancel again.
Yeah.
This is
then
3. Then 2-1 canceling 3 times. Very strong.
Yep.
I think last time he was able to cancel 4. Will there be a chance where 5 times in one turn?
Possibly. 2-1-2 Dead has obviously not been having as great a game as he was last time. He hasn't been able to double combo, but he still played the climax. He's at level 2 while opponents on 1 and 2.
Yep.
I think he also clocked away an Escanor there, which it either means he's struggling or it means that he already has 2 Escanors and enough Escanors in hand. But in either case, it means that his draws aren't as great as they could be.
And here it is, like Simon. We mentioned how we can mill out the entire deck, but Simon technically didn't mill out the entire deck, right?
Yeah, I think he saw enough non-climaxes leave the deck that he decided it's safe to stay here and just keep that amount of stock.
I think he triggered 1 just then, so not sure how many are out now.
Yeah, I think he was 4 out, then he had a climax, so 5, 6. There's at least 6.
So 2 cancels is not bad.
Yeah, it's all right.
Keep the lead pretty well.
So that Elizabeth hit 1. One note on the Wielder of Lost Vein that 200 Dead has in the front row, I think he's going to play a 3rd one, is that because it requires another one in the front row against Alice, if you want to answer more than 1, you have to, you have like the 4/5 as just basically a vanilla, which Yeah, I think you either have to choose between dealing with Alice or playing it as a semi-vanilla.
Oh, there's the cancel.
And this is kind of what's happening here. So Simon's Alice's just keep coming back.
Or staying. They're not coming back. Oh, this one's a big one. 1, 2, 3.
That one lands, yeah.
Ooh.
If the next one is only for 1, Simon will just stay at level 1.
That's 2.
So that's for 2.
Cancel. Oh, these players are canceling like kings.
Right. So Simon will be at 1-5 and 1-6 after refresh. Should he not clock roll? It looks like he doesn't need to.
Yeah, you can stay low. Hand's pretty good.
Yeah. I think
just making sure where the stock swap is.
Yeah, so it's in the waiting room, which means it's not currently in the hand, but I think with 200 Dead's current deck size, if Simon hits him up to level 3, he might just brainstorm and access the stock swap. So got to be a bit careful there.
Actually, just brainstorming here. Hits the last one.
Right, so he didn't salvage it. I remember that wrong.
But does he have the climax?
Don't think he does. He was quite. Yeah, I think we cancelled with the remaining 2.
Yeah. If he has a climax, he can swap and then put 2 cards back again with a brainstorm, and then you have like 4 cards, right? And then slam the climax and go down to 1, right? It's
I think Simon could even contemplate just playing the climax and then not attacking, or just attacking once in the Lost Vein lane. It stops 2-1-2 Dead from hitting level 3, while Simon doesn't overcompress. So
he's just gonna put 2 back. So,
right, so in this case, he can make 3 attacks, and then if 2-1-2 Dead stock swaps him, it puts all the cards in his current deck into the waiting room before he refreshes. So it ends up not shooting too many climaxes in. So I think he's gonna do that to just make 3 attacks, and don't worry too much if 2-1-2 Dead tries to stock swap him here.
Hey, you just got to do what 2-1-2 did last game. Take the stock swap, cancel 4 times. It's just that easy, right?
Yeah, that could happen. Because stock swapping when your opponent only has 1 card left in deck generally doesn't yield incredible results, and then unless their stock is a very high number. But right, so Simon is using. Oh, okay. So he put a card back, and then he searched it. Okay.
Huh.
All right. So this is not the line I was thinking.
Then he has maybe no climax. He's just gonna swing 3 times.
Yeah, I guess so. And I guess he's just deciding that he doesn't need to worry about stock swap, or he's not going to attack the full 3. There's good reason to not attack with Alice in cases like this, because you just have too much stock and not many great ways of using it. So you just avoid the stock swap, and then you wait until you hit a point in the game where you can use the stock better. But looks like based on this attack order, he is just going to attack 3 times.
Whoa!
So good 3 for Simon, and then front for 1
goes to exactly, I think, 2-6.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that'll be 2-6, which means 2-1-2 Dead can clock to hit level 3 at the next turn should he take this one. But
okay, but he's kind of gonna work for it, right? Because now ideally you go like Escanor plays and stock swap, right?
Yeah. The thing is, if he goes to Escanor here, he doesn't have the damage output in the game.
Yes.
So then I think Simon will eventually just grind it out if he goes for that. So more likely it is that he'll stock swap and then try and deal enough damage here so that Escanor can win on the follow-up turn. That is if he wants to use the stock swap though. And then
actually, there's not enough stock. Never mind. The stock's at 5, right?
It was at 7, but he just paid 3 for Lost Fame. So.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. That's.
You mean 8?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's 4.
Yeah, that's 4.
I'm blind. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I guess that means 2-1-2 Dead's not going to level up here.
Okay. I mean, you're definitely out of reach for your finisher. Yeah. You need some turns to kind of. But if you don't have so much stock, you can't do your ultra combo, right?
Yeah, you do need to hit a certain threshold, and I guess at this point, 200 Dead probably has to just continuously chump his whole board to, not for the silica reason, but more that it stops Simon from sending his level 0 Yu-Gi-Oh to memory, and therefore Simon will still be able to combo with Kirito, but he won't be able to use the minus soul ability. So
yeah. So that is a level 2 beat up.
okay,
Right.
so it looks like that is an opportunity for Simon to send a card to a memory then. Okay. He is using the
Bottom deck.
Mito counter from the bottom. He's going to level up, putting in Yu-Gi-Oh for blue.
And just see that nice counter. 3k counter at level 1. Very, very nice. Then outing the one card that was built to maybe at least help break the board.
Yeah. You, even if your deck can't go over the counter range, it's generally still better to at least include cards that make your opponent use the counter, or otherwise your opponent just snowballs way too hard and you have to play every game with the stock swap plus finisher cross fingers plan. It's a climax loss to refresh, but
it's not the important one.
It's not the important one. But
canceling
Escanor,
again.
Yeah, Escanor kind of has to just climax. Oh, all right. This
3. That's another cancel. Wow. That's kind of still out of reach for Escanor, right? 2-0?
Yeah, but if again, 200 Ed can stock swap, although it is currently in the deck, and then push from there into a decent range, I think it would work.
I think Simon's just going to kind of clean out and then puts the stock to a reasonable level again. Just continue playing the game. I mean, you said the original plan was to go up to 3 first, stock swap, and then just kind of set up the Corridos. But what happens when you're this far ahead?
Sure. In this case, you just
turn things sideways.
You
Is
just
that
maintain your deck and stock levels, attack, and avoid taking too much damage on each turn. I think
just avoid taking damage.
You just play the usual. I'm ahead. Like, may as well avoid
losing.
Avoid like the scenarios where my opponent can make a comeback. Okay, so he plays the Yui. I'm curious how he intends to do that. So he's going to discard a character to draw one. Looks like he doesn't need that administrator, and then he can optionally drop search right now. So he's discarding a choice. So it seems like he has a second choice in hand. He's searched for the 3k counter on the bottom of the deck, so he can protect his Alice's again, and he's also successfully paid out that Alice and Yu-Gi-Oh, which means that his Kirito finish turn can be a little bit more potent. Another nice thing about that Yui is that when it goes to the waiting room, you can use the drop search effect again. So if Simon wants to do that later on in the game, he will be able to use it.
Also, in order to draw a card, right?
Yeah, it's the deck doesn't really have a great way of accessing your deck unless you're playing blue, which has the Alicization event. But typically you only play 1 or 2, and Simon has already used both copies, so it allows him to access his deck at convenient timings. And obviously he has an abundant number of stock, so.
And is it another climax combo?
Yeah.
Doing the strategy, maintaining the hand, continually get the stock.
Right. So.
And well, here's the other thing. All these Alices are hitting for 3.
So if anyone gets a soul trigger, that means there's a 7 somewhere on the board.
Yeah, 2-1-2 dead is actually not that compressed, but he still
he
can't.
Did just lose a couple of climaxes.
That is a soul trigger, right?
So
that is the stock soul and cancel.
I think that's 2 copies of Master of the Sun Gone, so he's gonna have to climax swap there if he wants to.
Yeah. Simon triggers a pants, gets back another pants.
Yep. So if 2-1-2 dead does try to push this turn,
it's for 4.
Simon is ready to swing back at him. So that's for 4.
Oh, the 4 goes in.
Which is definitely more than what 2-1-2 dead can heal off next turn with Escanor. So Simon is definitely closing in on that turn. If 2-1-2 dead hits him to level 3, he can just go for Kirito. If not, he can use that climax, either climax swap, you can discard it for Yui, you can play it as a 1k1.
I think time is kind of running out in terms of the clock damage. 2-1 to dead might need to make his move soon.
Yeah.
Or maybe heal down and then wait for the next turn, but going for a brainstorm again. Hits 1. Gets 1 Escanor. Okay. Right now can play 2 Escanors. They'll heal down to 3-2.
Yeah.
But the other question is, are we already going in with Escanor?
I think he somewhat has to. Reason being that Escanor requires you to have 4 other characters on the stage in order to use the ability. So ignoring the fact that 2-1-2 Dead currently has 2 rested brainstorms in the back, where other decks can just heal in the back, push their back row up, and then go for combo next turn. I don't think Escanor has the ability to do that, as you need the full board condition. And looks like this is a vanilla swing for 4. All right.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Simon honestly doesn't mind taking that. I would even say, like,
yeah,
he could take that.
Could take it, go up to 3,
yeah,
and then just put down a bunch of Kiridos.
Yeah,
and I think he's champ chilling, right?
Yeah.
And take the 1. We do a refresh. Unfortunately, this is going to be a very vanilla Escanor. Okay. Refresh, empty, and then 4 damage, 2, 3, and a 4.
All right, chance for one. And then Escanor is
actually lower than
Alice. It's weaker than Alice, yeah. That Alice has been there since level 1, and it's bigger than a level 3 and 2-1-2 Dead stack. It's
again
good card.
The A in Alice.
Yeah, it's for value.
That's for value. Did you know Alice and value have the same number of letters in the word?
Wow.
So we're going deep here, you know.
Yeah, so I think Simon's probably gonna just
he's just turn things sideways.
I think he's just gonna he's probably just gonna make sure he doesn't like get too hurt by a stock swap next turn. Can attack for 2-3 times, and if 2 of the swings land, that's game.
How many climaxes are out? They're probably asking. I think it was 4, right? I think I saw 3 in the waiting room, but I might have missed some. There's 1 that was triggered, right? Simon, if he has the early play, we're just gonna brainstorm. Okay.
Well, he does need to pay out a climax, and he probably wants to move through the deck to not get stock swap too hard. It's also a nice way of sinking his stock. Honestly, if Simon wants to sink his stock, it seems very viable to just play over his back row and then pay 3 and encore it to weaken the stock swap power, because he's not going to need all that stock. It's just not necessary at this point.
Like, you're playing the odds here. Do you want to hope he never gets stock swap and sit on a super compressed deck, or do you want to just let's get rid of some of that compression in the off chance that he does get the swaps off, and I'm not 100% dead?
Because I don't think at this stage, I'm not entirely sure where 2-1-2 Dead's hand is, but I think at this stage, 2-1-2 Dead does not have
slam
a hand.
So this is 3-3.
Cool. So it's a choice. So there's quite a few in waiting room there. Yeah. So if 2-1-2 Dead stock swaps here, I don't think it actually does much.
Cancel.
It looks like it just doesn't have a hand.
4. If there is no hand, that's really, really bad because there's no Escanors happening. And that's a 4. And if this 4 sticks, that's really bad too, because you can't clock and draw 2.
Yeah.
And is that one card in deck?
That's game. There's already 3 cards in
there's 3? And never mind, that is game. Wow, okay.
So that's just had 2 games when the winning player just doesn't need to do that.
they just win at level 2. Yeah. And with that, Simon Zeng is your BRO champion for Weiss Schwarz this year.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats all the way from New Zealand. Doing very, very well. Usually does very well in Vanguard.
Yeah,
but
I heard he's won Worlds once.
Won Worlds for Vanguard. Actually won BRO for Vanguard once as well. This time finally get that WS achievement. But I think it also won, I think, one of the BSFs in Australia as well a while back.
Quite the superstar.
So yeah, very happy. He should be very happy as well now that he's gotten another Weiss Schwarz win, his favorite game, as he says. So yeah, big congrats. Looks like the backups you sent to him was came in handy.
I'm glad I was able to help.
Yeah, but also a great showing by Tuan Dead.
Yeah. For being the last SAO player,
the hero,
last non-SAO player,
yeah.
standing against the odds.
the hero of the people.
Yeah.
Yes, but sometimes things just don't go your way, and it's unlucky, man. So there is the final bracket.
Yep.
All right, the finals winning by Simon. Not sure who won between Varga and Kazevo. That might be pretty cool. We'll probably get an update soon. Again, it's SAO Mirror, so hey, it could still be going on.
Yeah, I heard one of the stream games in the other regions went to time. So.
Yes, and then 2-1 to Dead beats out Fresh Cabbage, then Varga, and then gets the finals. Well, Simon made it through Bim Bom, Kazer, and finally beat 2-1 to Dead. And congrats to the other players who also made it there. Fresh Cabbage, Hakase, Bim Bom, and Kalua, all doing very, very well, making to top 8, but they can only be one champion. All right. I think we're gonna have an interview with Simon soon. I think we just need to set things up first. So I think we'll take a quick break and we'll drag him into our call, and then we can have some chats with him.
Yep.
All right. So stay put. We'll see you soon. Be right back.
Weiss Schwarz. It's time to show off the best performance on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Intro Deck and Booster Pack, Bang Dream, Girls Band Party, 5th Anniversary, now on sale. Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz. The Academy was the Girls' Orchard. The popular visual novel series joins the stage of Weiss Schwarz. The Fruit of Grisaya Trial Deck and Booster Pack. Coming soon. Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz. 10 years journey with Sword Art Online. Now on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Booster Pack Animation Sword Art Online 10th Anniversary. Now on sale. Bushiroad.
バンドリガールズバンドパーティー、ポッピンパーティー、キラキラドキドキしたい
アフターグロー。今日もいつも通り行こう。
な。パステルパレット、みんなで最高のステージにしようね。
ロゼリア、このメンバーで頂点を目指すわ。
ハローハッピーワールド、世界を笑顔に。モルフォニカ、輝く景色を一緒に。
レイザー水蓮、暴れる準備はいい？
個性豊かなバンドメンバーとライブを成功させよう。リズムゲームパートではゲームオリジナル楽曲がたくさん遊べる。さらにライブ背景を MV にして遊べる楽曲も。そしてリズムゲームの体感もパワーアップ。有名カバー楽曲も続々登場。知ってる楽曲でたくさん遊べるよ。最大5人での協力ライブが可能。みんなで協力してライブを成功させよう。バンドライフを楽しむアドベンチャーパート。ラウンジでは次々に交わされるメンバーたちの会話が見られるよ。日常やさまざまな会話を楽しもう。私たちと一緒にキラキラドキドキする毎日を過ごそう。バンドリガールズバンドパーティー大好評配信中。始めよう、私たちのバンドライフ。
walk and 景色にさせてほしい。時を超え空とな一人じゃない一人じゃない進化の形をまるで青でちゃうマモちゃん絶好調。まあいい感じなんだかみんなハッピーピンキにはなぜ悲しみに濡れてるの。いつからそんなにも泣いてるの。ハッピーピンみやちゃんの肩におまけ意味がののうちらもあげてこうよつまんない世界中のうちらでこうよ上がる気分をうちらがいけてないとダサいの捨ててうちらは負けてないの完全にショーバルはみ出す企画なんて完全にあくまでも私たちらしく重点を揺らしゴーを貫いて離ずっと抱いていた悲しみが奥底で重なってつながって一つになった悪く見てねみんなキラキラ光るスターライト胸打つビート止めどなく溢れ出す希望を奏でる音が心のパズルをつなぐラストピース。今後はテンポ上げていこう。ありがとうミュージック永遠に全部君のおかげだよ。喜怒哀楽どの瞬間も見守っていてくれたね。ありがとうミュージック永遠にいつだってつながり合える言葉なんていらないんだ君さえいれば。
Weiss Schwarz. It's time to show off the best performance on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Intro deck and booster pack, Bang Dream, Girls Band Party, 5th anniversary, now on sale. Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz. The Academy was the Girls' Orchard. The popular visual novel series joins the stage of Weiss Schwarz. The Fruit of Brisaya Trial Deck and Booster Pack. Coming soon. Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz. 10 years journey with Sword Art Online. Now on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Booster Pack Animation Sword Art Online 10th anniversary. Now on sale. Bushiroad.
バンドリガールズバンドパーティーポッピンパーティーキラキラドキドキしたいな。
アフターグロー今日もいつも通り行こ
パステルパレットみんなで最高のステージにしようね。
ロゼリア、このメンバーで頂点を目指すわ。
ハローハッピーワールド世界を笑顔にモルフォニカ輝く景色を一緒に
う。レイザー水蓮暴れる準備はいい？
個性豊かなバンドメンバーとライブを成功させよう。リズムゲームパートではゲームオリジナル楽曲がたくさん遊べる。さらにライブ背景を MV にして遊べる楽曲も。そしてリズムゲームの体感もパワーアップ。有名カバー楽曲も続々登場。知ってる楽曲でたくさん遊べるよ。最大5人での協力ライブが可能。み みんなで協力してライブを成功させよう。バンドライフを楽しむアドベンチャーパート。ラウンジでは次々に交わされるメンバーたちの会話が見られるよ。日常やさまざまな会話を楽しもう。私たちと一緒にキラキラドキドキする毎日を過ごそう。バンドリガールズバンドパーティー大好評配信中。始めよう私たちのバンドライフ。
Weiss Schwarz. It's time to show off the best performance on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Intro deck and booster pack, Bang Dream, Girls Band Party, 5th anniversary, now on sale. Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz. The Academy was the Girls' Orchard. The popular visual novel series joins the stage of Weiss Schwarz. The Fruit of Grisaya Trial Deck and Booster Pack. Coming soon. Bushiroad. Weiss Schwarz. 10 years journey with Sword Art Online. Now on the stage of Weiss Schwarz. Booster Pack Animation Sword Art Online 10th anniversary. Now on sale. Bushiroad.
ポッピンパーティー。キラキラドキドキしたいな。
アフターグロー、今日もいつも通り行こう。
パステルパレット、みんなで最高のステージにしようね。
ロゼリア、このメンバーで頂点を目指すわ。
ハローハッピーワールド、世界を笑顔に。モルフォニカ、輝く景色を一緒に。
レイザー水蓮、暴れる準備はいい？
個性豊かなバンドメンバーとライブを成功させよう。リズムゲームパートではゲームオリジナル楽曲がたくさん遊べる。さらにライブ背景を MV にして遊べる楽曲も。そしてリズムゲームの体感もパワーアップ。有名カバー楽曲も続々登場。知ってる楽曲でたくさん遊べるよ。最大5人での協力ライブが可能。みんなで協力してライブを成功させよう。バンドライフを楽しむアドベンチャーパート。ラウンジでは次々に交わされるメンバーたちの会話が見られるよ。日常やさまざまな会話を楽しもう。私たちと一緒にキラキラドキドキする毎日を過ごそう。バンドリガールズバンドパーティー大好評配信中。始めよう、私たちのバンドライフ。
Welcome back, everyone. We have Simon on the line, ready to have an interview with us, the winner of BRO Weiss Schwarz 2023. Simon, are you ready? Can you hear us? Hey?
Yes. Hello.
Hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you since last time.
Which is not that long ago.
America?
Actually, not that long. How does it feel winning?
Feels great. Finally.
Feels great. And it's in your favorite game, Weiss Schwarz, right? Normally you top a lot in Vanguard, but this time you got that you got the Weiss Schwarz dub, right?
Yep, finally got that achievement, man.
Congratulations. How does, like, I don't know, you brought SAO, right? Best deck or best deck?
Yep.
Yep.
Best
Okay.
deck or counter deck, right?
Or a counter deck. Okay. Yeah, the counter deck could be SAO as well. But why Kyoto? I think we saw a lot of different builds of SAO, but you specifically brought the Kyoto top end. Any reason why?
It's mainly because of the heal. Like, I was not very comfortable playing Silica. Like, if I get hit to 3-2 and so on, right? You have to heal down, or like you're pretty much in range to die. So it's because I need that package to heal or minus soul, so it gives me the leeway. Like, I really love that package at the moment.
Okay.
What would you say is like your hardest matchup? And if it's the SAO mirror, what do you think you can do in the mirror to get a full edge over your opponent?
Hardest matchup isn't really a matchup, it's more like what cards you need to deal with, right? It's like all the Slayers, and memory, cake, or Adachi, things like that. Like, I had a hard time at the early stages of the game, of the rounds. The first 2 games I played against Quints, they were pretty annoying because they dropped 2 Adachi and sent 2 of my 2-1 to memory. So from that point on, I was like, how am I supposed to deal with this? Fortunately, like, playing Kirito, I could heal down. Otherwise, I got hit to 3-3 both games, and I was very glad I could heal down.
Nice. How many SAOs did you actually play? Not just in AO, but in all the I'm sure you played in EU as well. I'm not sure if you played in NA, but you played a lot of games. How much SAO did you face?
In EU, I played 4 SAO. In AO, in my Swiss, I played 4 SAO, and then just now was just 1? Was it 2? No, 2. 2 in total.
A lot of SAOs.
So you played 10 SAO. Is that more than half of the games you've played this weekend?
Yeah, definitely.
At least you know the matchup, right?
Yeah.
With VSF coming, yeah, I think it's good practice.
Yeah.
Definitely.
How much practice did you put into this, or just going into this?
I practiced this like when I started practicing. So what happened first was when Japanese banned us. When it was announced that it didn't get hit, I immediately brought up like a couple of playsets. So I started testing from that point onwards, and yeah, and then tested from then till now.
And it's paid off.
It's paid off. You know, you know how to play the Japanese build, and you just kind of transition it to the English build, right? So very, very good. Paid off. Gets the wins.
Well, just one more question. What do you miss about? Oh, so there's cards that don't exist in English but do in Japanese. Like, which cards do you miss the most?
The Chiori, Kirito.
Ah, okay. The level 0?
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, understandable.
But it's so much smoother when you have it, but without it, it's like, really,
And I guess any shout outs you want to do? Any advice you want to give to new players out there wanting to become Weiss Schwarz champion?
Shout out. First of all, I will shout out to Darcy. Because like he suggested me to play Kirito. Originally, when I first built it, I did not want to play Kirito. I was like, nah, this doesn't work that well. And then eventually, I got all my friends to like test it against me using Kirito, and I was playing as Silica. And then it reached a point I actually wanted to throw Silica away.
I see.
So Darcy was the main person who convinced me to try and work on Kirito, which helped a lot. Another mention, Ken, thank you for sending those counters.
No problem. That's so good.
It came just in time. 2 days later. Who else? I would also like to shout out to Darren for playtesting with me for the past few days every night. Also shout out to WCC for being such a supportive team and giving me moral support. Who else? Who else is there? Well, advice? I think previously you guys mentioned, right? Choose your deck wisely, build your deck to the format, right? Something like that. I really like it right now because English format is so different to Japanese format. Japanese format, you can copy so many decks and paste it and just apply it, right? But English, everyone's this bro showed me that a lot of people are trying to what's the word? They're trying to adjust to the environment and use what they have in their set, their favorite sets, and it shows me that people really love what they play.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the Weiss players do know each other. They know the players they need to look out for, so they're also kind of taking it to those players too, right? So I guess that's very important. At least in the English sphere, you have to really understand your current meta game, especially I think in AO region. When it's not BRO, our region's slightly more different to the other regions. So it's not always just copy and paste, yeah?
True.
Okay, and with that, and any last words, Ken?
No, I think I've got all the questions that I wanted.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations again.
Yeah, Simon.
So
I think we'll see you soon. See you at VSF. But yeah, enjoy.
Thank you guys. Oh yeah, thank you for all the casting team and everyone. You did a good job.
Oh, thanks to the production team.
Yeah,
they're around, and the judges as well. Yeah.
Yep. Everyone did a hard work.
Good. But yeah, thanks for the interview. Thanks for the interview, Simon.
Thank you guys.
And with that, I think that is I think we've pretty much at the end of AO, BRO. Again, we'd like to just thank all the judges and the staff for running it. Went really quick. Right?
Yeah.
7 rounds. I think that's a first for AO for Weiss, right?
I believe, yeah. This
Yeah.
is the largest number of rounds we've had in Swiss, but you know, we went really well.
Yeah, and we can keep on growing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and thanks for the production team as well, making it all happen. Thank you to the viewers who just tuned in and watched. If it wasn't for all of you, all right, none of us would be here. And look, if you want to watch more Weiss, if you want to watch more serious Weiss, there's more coming up, right?
EU Top 8 is coming out in a few hours, I think.
Yeah, same time as yesterday for Swiss. So if you want to watch that, it's all there. NA as well coming up later after that too. So there's still the big top cuts for the tournaments coming up. So make sure to tune in. But for us, I think that's it. Yeah,
that's probably it.
Yeah. We do. Let's kind of quickly go through the schedule though. We do have a couple of just to remind all what's happening in the next couple of months. Again, this is mostly for Vanguard. We have the standard tournament in August 25, 26, 27, depending on your region, and then week 4 we also have the premium one, November 17, 18, or 19, just depending on your region again. Also, I think they're doing the top cut of Vanguard 0 as well. So if you want to tune into the last tournament, I think that's happening tonight soon. So bit of extra Bushiroad things to watch out for. And yeah, that's just what's happening. And with that, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Thank you to the production team again. Thank you to judges and all the stuff.
Yep.
Thank you to Kai.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah.
You've been great. You've been great these last few days, providing the nice knowledge, the power of knowledge to all of us. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a great day, and see you sometime.
See you sometime in the future. Bye.